telling me? Just go show your doctor. Put it away now. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the morning show. Poseidon's got a little chafe happening. That's okay. My name is Phil Balabanos, and this is the morning show. A show where we do stuff in the morning for us. I mean, it's 10 o'clock. It's not really the morning for most people. I've been awake for 5 hours. In front of me, in studio, straight from the South Shore, the mouth of the South, the biche de Barcelona. It didn't work. It worked better in my head. The Lugra from Longueuil, George Chandrizos.
What's going on?
It didn't work. None of them were good. I've built it up too much. George is in studio with us because he's here to tell us the news. George has multiple podcasts. By multiple, I mean a couple, so two, because this doesn't count. You got the Just Us Dads podcast. He's an accountant.
Why doesn't it count?
Is this really a podcast? It's not. It's a morning show.
Well, look, bro.
Yes, bro.
You better stop talking that shit. This is a motherfucking podcast, boy.
Are you wearing a marble textured shirt? I just
It's a morning
noticed.
news podcast, and yes, I
With
am.
white supremacist straps on the side. Those black bars.
What are you talking about?
That's what fucking soldiers do to cover up their Nazi tattoos.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, look it up. George has Just Us Dads, the only podcast for dads, by dads, for moms, not for kids. They talk about being parents. Him and his childhood best friends have started. Are they your childhood best friends, George?
Yeah, Chris is definitely. George.
Wow, poor George. He's
Well,
like,
he-
well, bro,
yeah.
I thought we were something special.
Well, not a childhood best friend, but he came a bit later on when we were in high school, I think.
He lasts a bit longer, right? Okay.
Yeah.
No, nobody. Okay, cool. So Just As Dads is a podcast for parents where they talk about their experience of raising and rearing children. He also has the Backstage podcast. The Backstage podcast is a podcast where George talks with people in the public eye. People in the know. I guess they're in the know. Yeah, they're in the know. A lot of them right now are campaigning for your votes and your trust. So George is talking to them. If you want to see more of that, visit George's channels, and all that stuff is in the links in the description. The producer of the morning show. Wow, it took a while. Poseidon, the Poseidon69 on every social media channel that exists, including MySpace. He's still on MySpace. He has music when you get to his channel. Like, it's like 2001 all over again. Poseidon is on Twitch. He's streaming. He's got In Bed with Poseidon and other shows like The Intellectuals that happen right on this very channel. Patreon.com/Pantelis is where you get early access to everything that goes out here. I mean, this is a YouTube exclusive, this show. If you want to find out more about me, balabanos.com. And with that being said, I'm done plugging the holes.
He's done plugging. How's it going?
It's all right.
You're done filling.
I could have made that joke. It's an easy joke. I chose not to.
I chose to do so.
Oh, yes,
because
you
I have
did.
no standards.
I made the decision to be here today.
I realized this morning that, because I usually watch, the content that these guys put out on their Instagram or whatever.
Which guys?
Pantelis and Poseidon.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, how do you have the reflex to even just, take a video at that right moment? And then this morning...
Like the time that Poseidon spilled milk out the window.
Yeah.
No. That was set up, bro. You set me up.
You set me up, bro.
You set me up to spill the milk. Look, at the end of the day, Poseidon, you said it yourself. You made a decision.
It's true, I did.
Malaka. Go ahead, George.
So we're in your office, and this guy comes in. I thought, okay, he's smoking, and then somehow a video appears.
Yeah. He came in like fucking Inspector Clouseau with his white coat, like a lab coat. Humst? Clouseau. No, Inspector Gadget. Yeah, sorry. Clouseau wore a white coat too, didn't he? He had that long... The capartine.
The capartine.
Yeah, the capartine. Poseidon is quick to film things that he deems interesting. And it turned out pretty funny. I'm not going to lie. It was all right.
Yeah, it's very cool. It's very cool.
I mean, I don't want to build it up for you guys. Like, go check it out if you want, but it's not like some kind
It's
of...
not like
it's just a random clip.
It's not.
Where
it's
for
not-
some reason I look like I'm in love with George.
Yeah.
Just looking at him.
What's
like,
the guy's name? Inspector Trousseau.
Clouseau. You don't know the original Pink Panther, man.
boom, 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 boom. Oh, I shouldn't do that. We're going to get taken down.
Oh, yeah?
Because I'm have perfect pitch, so they'll think it's
I don't recognize it.
like, oh shit, they got it up there. Yeah, I can't believe you don't know that. But Padeli had this conversation with you. You missed out on a lot of like iconic cultural things that we consider that to be, because you're younger than us.
Yeah.
And you're weird.
I'm very strange.
You're straight. You're a peculiar man.
I wouldn't even say human at this point, but let's just say being.
Okay.
Okay.
What was his name? Peter Sellers.
Yes. Nicely done, George.
What?
Everyone is the actor's name. It's fine.
It's the actor's
Didn't
name.
Peter Sellers have that crazy voice in real life?
I don't know.
Is that who? Or I'm thinking of Vincent. Fuck, man. Anyways, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
Hit us with that first news story. Get out of the chat. Stop looking to see if people are saying nice things about you. I'll tell you.
Yeah, thanks.
What's the first bit of news we have? I assume it's about the elections or COVID.
It's no, there's not much about. Well, there's one thing we're going to talk about COVID.
Do it now. Get out of the way.
Actually, a few things.
Okay.
Well, yeah, whatever. Yeah, okay. Let's start with COVID. There
Okay.
is a public. There's a public inquiry hearing happening right now with.
Like live right now.
Well, not now live.
Oh, okay.
Like now, the last couple of days, maybe.
Okay.
It's happening now. As you know, now in recent days.
I understood. Please
Right.
continue.
Do you guys remember the seniors' residence Heron in the West Island that had all those cases and all these old people died,
Yes.
and there was a lot of questions on, these older people being abandoned and all that stuff.
It was the first flag that we abandoned old people to
I don't
die.
know if it was the first flag, but it was the first eye-opening situation where we're like, what the hell is going on, right?
Okay.
So there's a public inquiry right now, and there's an auxiliary nurse that worked over there that during that whole period of COVID, like a whole year and a half now.
That first wave, right?
Yeah, she was documenting everything because she had warned everyone over there that the situation was dire and that they didn't have enough support, they didn't have enough resources, and that the management wasn't good enough to handle the situation. And she took it upon herself to document everything that was going on.
Document how? Like write it down?
Writing down like
dates, times.
exactly,
Okay.
like detailed stuff, right?
All right.
Like on this day, this time, this is what happened,
Okay.
This person said this and whatever. So there's over 50 pages of this stuff that was given to this to the public inquiry, and she testified yesterday. And from the reports that I read and from the radio programs that I heard, it's just devastating. The experience that this woman went through is just ridiculous to think that people were just left like that to die, like in their own vomit, and
Oh my God.
yeah. And she goes into detail about how
The sad truth is we knew about a lot of this stuff already. I guess we just didn't have like concrete documentation,
Right.
like she did.
So she did it, right? And
I mean, that's fucked.
It's crazy to think about, and it wasn't cheap, right? It was a very,
No, I
it
know.
was a very
Where was it?
pricey
It was
place.
in, the
I
East
don't know.
End?
It's in the West Island.
In the West Island.
It's in the West Island. So you're thinking that if I'm going to give whatever $5-6 grand a month for these people to take care of my folks or my grandparents or whatever, it must be of some caliber of quality, right?
You'd think so.
Completely opposite. So the stories that are coming out from there, I mean, I had trouble just continuing to read these things, right? I mean, we're talking about going into a room where an old person had died for at least 1 or 2 days, and she had to clean them up. Another story was one where there was a couple, a man and a woman, like in their older age. The man was suffering from Alzheimer. His wife had died. No one knew anything. Jesus. This man would wake up in the morning, go check on his wife, realize she's dead, get miserable, and then because of Alzheimer, he would forget.
No.
Yeah. So the next day, he would repeat the same thing. And this lasted for, it doesn't go into detail of how long this lasted, but it was just incredible, like stories that are coming out of this. Right?
Jesus.
There was another lady that apparently died, that she walked in the room and she found her dead. And when she asked about the situation, one of the person there, and everything is documented, she's like, oh, yeah, we know. She had puked. So why didn't you clean her? And then when she contacted the family, the daughter of that lady, she's like, well, we called yesterday and they told us that she was sitting on her chair drinking some protein or whatever.
What the fuck?
You know what I mean?
Honestly, what's the goal of this inquiry?
I'm not.
If it's to put people in jail, I'm all for it, because some of this stuff is fucking criminal.
I could be wrong here, but this is the second hearing, because I think there was one originally like a couple months ago or maybe a month ago on criminal charges, and apparently the report came out that there weren't any crimes. Feels good. Did you just close the air?
No, it's automatic.
Oh, okay. Wow. Sorry, we just stopped because it's like you automatically feel. Did you?
I haven't been hearing. I mean, I hear a bit.
Anyway.
Actually, guys, If you guys heard that, let us know because we always wonder if we can leave it on.
Yeah.
I'm curious. Yeah, if you guys heard that weird that just stopped.
Yeah, like a mechanical noise. Like
Yeah.
But yeah, go on.
Just
Go on.
suddenly you feel like you can hear better. Yeah, so there's no criminal charges that will be laid to the owners. So I'm guessing maybe there was a criminal investigation done, and so there's no there's no accusations there.
Look, if the
So
family called and that woman was dead and they were aware and they told her family that she was sitting and drinking a cup of whatever, someone needs to go to fucking jail. That's ridiculous.
It's difficult following this woman's report that you cannot see criminal negligence over here. Like, it's very difficult.
First words that come to my mind.
You know what I mean? So the report goes on and on about how when the pandemic hit, there were a bunch of staffers and auxiliary personnel over there that was sent in from agencies that just left. They're like, fuck this shit. We're not paid from you anyway. And they just abandoned ship. There's stories in her report that talk about days where she was alone, literally alone in the entire building. Other times where it was just her and another person. Another story of how the kitchen staff prepared the meals and they just brought them up from the elevator, pushed the cart out and just left. And when they were asked, can you help us distribute the meals to the people? They're like, no, we don't want to catch that shit. You know what I mean? We don't want to catch the disease. This building is packed with COVID. I mean, you're thinking about the decency that these people deserve to have and how they were left to die.
So the owners were already brought. There was already some kind of hearing with the owner.
I don't remember, and I don't want to.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah,
I mean, like, clearly what you're describing is massive mismanagement on a level that I can't even.
Absolutely. So I'm not sure exactly what these hearings are for. I don't know if this is like a civil case or if because I do remember reading something about no criminal charges being.
It's ridiculous.
Being given up. So I don't know exactly what this is for. Maybe this is on what's it called? Civil case? I don't know. But in any case, I mean, we're talking about over 50 pages of documented crap.
I mean, you can't ignore that at this point. She documented everything. So someone has to do something. But the thing is, no one's going to do anything. And this is going to fall to the side.
You know who has to do something?
Who? Us?
No, the families of the people, of the older people. If that was my mother that was in that situation and then my mother was subdued to that, bro, I would go insane.
Subjected.
I know that I know for a fact that there's a very top criminal lawyer
Involved?
in our community, like one of the best in Quebec, whose father, I believe, died
In there?
In there.
Who, FP?
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Like you're saying, the families.
I actually feel first of all, that's terrible. I mean, that's
course,
horrible. That makes
yeah.
me sad to hear. But I feel better now.
knowing that
he's involved,
somehow there's a link there, and maybe potentially
he's not gonna let this go.
There's no fucking way.
There's no fucking way.
There's no way. There's no way. But again, I don't know. Are they just waiting for this kind of evidence or this hearing?
When I heard these stories, it always confused me. Like, oh, well,
we gotta play musical chairs. Hold on, we gotta play chairs.
Yeah. He's just standing there waiting. He's not even saying anything. He's like, move with his eyes.
He's just sitting there. All right, you guys know what to do now.
Hey, bienvenue à la vedette absolue.
Oh yeah, I'm a vedette absolute.
Vedette absolue. George, did you lick this?
Yeah,
But
a couple times.
He said I'm a vedette absolute in the underground, I guess, right?
You're an underground vedette
I'm
absolute.
an underground star.
That's gonna be the name of your vodka. Pantelis, vedette absolute.
What do you mean by that? He performs in the metro.
He's a busker. So yeah, we were talking about how. So when I was hearing these stories about,
That's not sorry.
about
I'm
these,
making it for you.
like all the people who died in the old folks' homes, in my head.
Oh shit! You guys started off light, nice.
Yeah, we went like a feel good story, you know. For me, it was always like I was looking at other countries and I was like, they're not having the same issue. Not the United States. I mean, European countries. And I realized that they don't have this culture of putting old people in homes. I mean, they exist, but it's not like I feel like Quebec. It's like you hit a certain age and they're like, oh wait, grandmama, bye bye. Like they just ship them off.
I have to ask because I don't know about the old people. I know for young people, when you're 18, you get out of the house. I don't know if there's a rule where you get out of the house when you're 18, and then when you're 70, get back in that house. Like I don't know if that's what's happening.
It's not that straightforward. But like coming from an ethnic community, I always assumed that we didn't do that. But it's not true.
Right.
Like
No, we do.
Now I
We
know
do.
there's
Yeah,
a lot
we
of
do.
Greeks and
Yeah.
Italians and whatever. I just mean
No,
non-Quebecois people.
there's a lot.
Yeah,
there's
there's
a
a
lot.
lot.
I mean,
I just- it
I've
always
seen
blew
them.
my
I've visited many of them.
Yeah, you got to get their votes, eh?
Exactly. Yeah. No. I've been to a lot of these seniors.
Liberal. You say liberal.
or else the door closes.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. To think that the situation happened when COVID broke out. We're just talking about public inquiry hearing that's happening this week, where an auxiliary nurse testified she had seen the situation unfolding.
Where they were like ignoring the old
She
Exactly.
was at that
But-
first big
but-
one,
but
Heron.
she-
She wrote
but-
everything down.
But she saw this happening way before COVID. She saw that the mismanagement and all that. And when COVID happened, she decided to document. So there's like over 50 pages of just factual stuff that she wrote down. People she spoke to, what they said, who died, what happened, like everything has been written down. And she testified yesterday, and I was telling Phil, I mean, just horrible stuff about her just walking in a room and finding someone that had died like maybe 1 or 2 days,
Oh my God.
having to clean them up, and the management lying to the family that they were okay the day before, and she walked the day after and found the lady dead. So just weird shit.
And then they blamed it all on COVID.
I mean, COVID was the main thing that everyone was blaming things on, but at the
Honestly,
same time,
it feels like that place was falling apart before COVID hit.
Well, that's what the woman
I mean, look,
said.
the
You said, right?
situation. Obviously, we know most of the deaths in Canada have happened in senior care facilities, but none have documented such horrible
No.
cases like that one. Maybe there's another one. Maybe I don't know. We haven't heard any, but that one
Well, there was
seems
the one right here on the
Yeah,
front.
on Brittany?
Yeah, on Brittany. Like I would drive by. I remember because our office was right there between my old place and the
Yeah, but
office,
there
and I
they-
would see like the military
Yeah, the
and like
military.
families at the windows.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
crying.
I saw that
It was
too.
a mess.
I
I
saw
knew
that.
people who had family there who died.
Yeah, the military shouldn't have been there. They should have been in Afghanistan, and we wouldn't have lost that war.
No, I've been there, but at the same time, and I know the management in that one. It's not the only one they have. Look, they lived the reality that every one of these long-term care facilities had. They were short-staffed. I mean, that's the truth. The question is, okay, how do you deal with it? What do you do?
Hire taller people.
At least these guys had the wherewithal to just say, listen, we need help. And they pleaded the government to send in help, and that's why they got the army there.
I remember. I'm not saying the army wasn't supposed to be there. I'm just
At
saying
least
I
it's
remember
extra
seeing
hands, man. It's extra. It's people. You know what I mean? It's resources.
There were
that
reserves.
You know what I mean? Who cares what?
I have
they
a
are?
question. Well, what's the situation in these places? So you pay to put old people in there, right? So there's a budget. You're getting paid. These people pay money.
You got to
So-
pay the salaries, pay the
Right, that-
facilities. You
exactly.
got to pay for their food and their
Okay.
care.
Yeah.
That's what you're paying for.
But that's what you're paying for.
Yeah.
But you're not receiving all that. So where's the money going? What I'm saying is you have 1,000. That's okay. So there's the problem. So
And they're also subsidized by the government,
But
if I'm
that's
not
why when
mistaken.
they're like, you're not paying people. You're getting paid enough, and you have the government giving money to, not just regular people. So you should be able to pay people actual salaries that are going to want to stay there and hours that are
Yeah.
convenient.
And the private ones are worse.
But that's what I'm saying. It doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make well.
So you mismanage a situation, you get greedy, you steal money, all that, and then the outcome is death, and
Yeah.
and you're like, wow, how the fuck did that happen? Goddamn COVID! It's crazy, and there's no repercussions. These people should be in jail.
Was Heron a CHSLD?
Who?
Heron, was it a CHSLD?
It was.
It
It
was.
was.
So it wasn't private.
It was. It wasn't. But you know what the thing? Because when I heard what they paid every month, it seems like it was a private one. So maybe it was like a
Like somewhat subsidized.
semi kind of.
Because like
yeah,
I learned
yeah.
this when I had my daughter in private daycare. I assumed that the private daycares you're paying more money, so they'll have better facilities, better staff because they're paid better everything. Turns out, no.
No, it's just the
It's
question
the
of permit.
opposite.
It's the question of the
Yeah.
permit.
So like the service and the staff are of much higher quality in the public system, where I'm paying what, $8 a day? What is it now? I don't know. My wife takes care of all that. It's like nothing. Whereas at the private one, I was paying $70 a day or something. And like I
wasn't
had
good.
seen their food. They used to go buy food. It was like the cheapest toast, the cheapest vegetables. Like
Well, look, let's not
And the
generalize.
staff-
I mean, let's not, because I know a couple private ones, private subsidized ones.
No, I'm not trying to generalize. I'm
yeah.
just saying that I assumed in a private situation where the
I would like to
government wasn't
generalize
involved.
for a moment. The Italians, they're an issue.
They are. They are. They were Italian.
Who the
The owners, yeah.
Oh no, really? I was just
Yeah.
fucking around.
I was like, how have we spoken about this
Oh,
before?
no, I just
Those
thought it was
dirty
funny. I
gabagools.
thought it was funny to generalize.
It is fun to generalize, especially at the expense of Italians.
All right, forget this is sad news, George. You got any good news?
George, go to the
Yeah,
next
we,
thing.
we gotta change this up because, bro, I'm getting infuriated, bro.
Yeah.
yeah, it's
I'm getting very
really.
pissed
You don't want him to set this table on fire.
Guys, look, I'm trying to find something happy to tell you, but I don't have any.
It was Mike Ward's birthday yesterday.
Hey, happy
there you
birthday,
go.
Mike
Oh my
Ward.
Yeah, but Norm
It's Mike now.
McDonald, Norm McDonald
Yeah,
died. So
that is sad.
Yeah, that's sad, eh?
That was very sad.
I'm not a big, comedy.
But it's Norm McDonald.
I mean, I don't
No,
know.
my God,
before-
he's literally one of the greatest of all
legend.
time.
Yeah.
Probably one of the great Canadian, not just Canadian, but I mean for Canada.
Where is
he's
he from?
He's legendary.
He's from here, Montreal.
No,
No.
He, Quebec City. He was born, but then I
Oh.
think he was raised around Ottawa.
Right, yeah, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what, yeah. I keep seeing that clip where he trolled Larry King.
Dude, he's trolled everyone. He was the
but
greatest.
I mean, that I'm deeply closeted gay thing.
Yeah.
Watching Larry King all these years later be so fucking confused is still like just.
Yeah, he was masterful at the straight face stuff.
But he wasn't even straight faced when he was doing it.
He was just something else.
Yeah, he was. He was.
It's
I
something
didn't.
else.
I guess it was private that he was sick. It wasn't.
He's one of those guys. He didn't want everybody to know. It's not
Yeah.
his like, "Hi, guys, I'm sick." So he battled it himself, which is such a Norm Macdonald move.
it really is.
But there's so much of him that you could enjoy now, not just the clips, the SNL stuff. He's Pigeon on Mike Tyson Mysteries.
Yeah.
He provided me and I guess millions of people so many good laughs.
you
Like
ever watch
this
his
guy's
show?
made me cackle. I've cried laughing at stuff Norm Macdonald's done.
yeah. Fucking.
And he inspired the shit out of all. Mike, I remember when we were at when we went to Rogan and stuff. We're like, fucking, not a lot of people do stuff from Quebec. And then we were thinking of Norm Macdonald technically is from Quebec City.
Yeah.
And then from I was like, fuck. And we would always look up like Norm Macdonald, he's the guy. And we always wanted, in the future, one day it would be good. We do something where he is, so we could invite him on. And
Yeah.
we had all these plans. He's just a guy that you look up to and.
You just seem like
He's
a
one of
fun,
the greatest.
like a good dude.
One of the greatest to ever do it. One of the funniest people ever on
It's
the
a
planet.
tragedy.
Was the Weekend Update thing his thing? Like he brought that to SNL or
No, it's not that he.
No,
No, but he was the best one ever.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, by
It
far.
became his thing, but he didn't create it. I don't
Yeah.
think. No.
He was just so good at telling the news.
As far as I know,
Yeah.
anyways.
And fucking with everyone.
He was funny.
I remember, I remember, and I don't know why because I rarely watch Saturday Night Live, and again, I wasn't like I mean, obviously everyone appreciates comedy, but I didn't consume it like you guys do, right? So, but I remember when O.J. Simpson, because he was doing the Weekend Update with O.J. Simpson, and I don't know why, and I don't know if I can't remember if I had watched the SNL or if they were playing somewhere else that clip because it was so controversial, but at the same time so funny when the verdict came out and he wasn't guilty, like he was innocent. So Norm Macdonald starts the Weekend Update. All right, well, the news is in. Apparently, it is now legal to commit murder in the USA.
It was amazing. He would they share that clip online now of comedians in cars getting coffee when he's talking about
was a
Patton
good
Oswalt
episode.
and
It
Bill
was so
Cosby.
funny.
When he goes, a comedian Patton Oswalt told me that the worst thing he thinks the worst thing about the Cosby situation was the hypocrisy. And then Seinfeld's like, you don't agree? He's like, no, I think the worst thing was the rapes. He goes, but hypocrisy is a close second. He goes, and I was like, yeah, that's...
Norm Macdonald.
Yeah, it's funny because people don't, but he made fun of both everyone who thinks that, but Patton Oswalt and Cosby at the same time. It was a great joke. Yeah, all right. So other news.
A super chat has just dropped. Jorge Rosales. Passion pour le pénis, fun topic.
Yes, that was great.
my
Classic.
I talked about it 3 times this week.
Oh, did you?
La passion, le passion pour,
Sa passion pour le pénis.
You know, she
Et
could have just
contagieux.
not. She needs to rap that.
I like her. Now I want to vote for her. I want to vote for Penis Man.
She could have just kept going. She didn't have to stop. No one would have noticed. if
Yeah,
she
I
had
What do you mean?
stopped.
Everyone noticed.
No,
It's
'cause she
passion pour le
made it.
pénis. Ah, le pénis.
No, she didn't say that. She wasn't like, ha ha. She said, le pénis. Like, oh, fuck, le pénis. God damn it.
But I just mean if she hadn't done that, I don't think as many
Yeah,
people
not
would have noticed.
he's right.
Which
Not a lot of people would have
I mean,
noticed.
I'll tell you why you're both wrong.
Yeah.
Because it was not mispronounced. She legitimately said penis, and that's why she stopped. It wasn't like a. It was like le penis. She said she was thinking of something else. It came out penis, and that's why she stopped. She's like, yeah, I said penis.
I said dick. Yeah,
Yeah.
my bad. I mean, it was a Freudian slip.
Was it a Freudian slip?
Just talking about passion and balls and whacking stuff with rackets. Boom, penis.
Oh, yeah.
I'm the bike mayor, but that's not all I am.
Ride your bike over to my house. Whip that dick, cowboy. The penis mayor is on the case. Get on a bike lane
I'm
for
trying
a
to keep going in
chase.
the background, but I can't. Like now, you should have pulled up a pring pring.
Yeah, that would have been
Yeah, I
amazing.
know.
It's
Don't
too
do
late.
it now.
No,
Oh, that was funny.
Oh,
Yeah, that was good. It makes me like her more though, because she assumed it.
She did. She
Yeah.
did assume the penis.
It's like, I am the penis mayor. It's good.
She had a bit of a laugh about
I
it.
will
and
win
that's
your trust through a platform of bicycles, potholes,
And dick jokes.
dicks.
Yeah. Like, you got me.
Yeah,
You got me, lady.
She knows her demographic really well.
Your buddy Trudeau's on the campaign trail. I heard he's still fighting with people, dividing the country as ever. Good for him.
But
Good
you know
for
what?
him.
You got to give it to him on one thing, because his wife was giving an interview. I don't know if this story made the national headlines. They were interviewing his wife, and there were some fucking morons in the background.
Yeah, but they can't.
They can't hear it.
Okay.
There were some like two morons somewhere like in the background, kind of making noises and playing music or whatever, kind of trying to disrupt the interview.
Disrupt the interview, or was it like a soccer supporter? You're like, ole.
They were disrupting the interview,
Highly
and then at some point, I don't know what was said, but he heard one of the guys say something really disrespectful to his wife.
What was it?
I don't know, and he went after him. He's like,
Pull it up.
I don't know exactly what was said.
Hey,
Trudeau defends honor.
Mrs. Trudeau, how do you feel being in a lesbian relationship? Is that what? Because Justine was so mad last week about them calling him a strong, independent woman.
So he went after him, and apparently what he says like, hey, don't you guys have a hospital to go right in front of or some shit like that? And
I don't know what that means, but I still like him. I like him.
standing up.
Standing up.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, he had to fucking defend the honor of his woman.
Yeah.
For some low down polecat done.
Yeah,
But
I like that.
But this is what happened. The controversy in this whole affair wasn't the fact that someone said something to his wife. That was like completely overshadowed by the fact that he told the guy, don't you have like some hospital to go right in front of, like you
What does that
anti-vaxxer?
mean?
Well,
because
they've
now
been-
all these anti-vaxxers are rioting in front of, they're demonstrating in front of hospitals.
emergency rooms.
And in front of schools.
Are you
Yeah,
sure?
Yeah,
it's
it's a
been
new thing.
happening.
Why would you demonstrate? What does that have to do with anything?
Because
They're, I don't know, they're
but
against
hold on.
They're against
That
hospitals.
is a half truth. It's true what you're saying, but they're not specifically anti-vaxxers. They're a union, not like a syndicate, but like a united organization of healthcare workers. They're nurses. A lot of these groups.
No, a lot of them aren't.
Really?
Yeah, no, a lot of them aren't.
A lot of misinformation out there.
And now they're here in Quebec. They started demonstrating in front of schools. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you, man? Because they're against the fact that some kids have to get vaccinated and whatever.
Oh, that's cool. That's normal because we had already said a year and a half ago that
They
kids
still
shouldn't be getting
I
vaccinated.
agree
Yeah.
with that, but I still think they shouldn't be in front of
this.
schools.
Yeah, but think about this.
Wait,
bro.
you told us last month that you don't want your kids to get vaccinated.
Yeah, I have an issue with that. But you know what? I have
So
a
these
bigger-
guys have the same issue you do, except
So
they're standing
going
up
to
and doing
disrupt
something.
The kids.
But yeah,
Wait,
that
they're
doesn't
disrupting
help.
the kids. I thought they're standing outside.
No, they're
protesting. They're blocking
protesting
the
in front of
line.
this kid.
You can't get into the school.
So
What do you mean you can't? Hold on. Whenever I drive around downtown, there's always a protest happening. It's always these fucking unions. They're in front of something. They never stop me. I honk sometimes like teachers protesting for salaries. And I honk, I go, you fucking get your money, teachers, and they're like, yay. They're allowed to protest. I don't mind. If they're stopping the kids from going in, if they're molesting the kids, if they're kidnapping kids, I
If you're
have
9 years old-
strong opinions against that.
If you're 9 years old and you're in class and there's, I don't know, 100 people
Yeah.
in the schoolyard outside your window going,
Well, look, it
How many in
depends.
the
For example,
school?
I'm thinking of Evangeline, let's say. If you're in the front of the school, there's the two classes there. They're not disrupting anybody. They're all
Disrupting the
in-
regular,
Yeah.
like protest in front of the fucking government's
Yeah.
offices.
Yeah, man.
Go to their homes. I
Yeah.
don't care.
Yeah, go
Leave
to the-
kids
go-
alone.
go-
The
go-
kids
Wait, what
don't
are they
need to know.
protesting at the schools? I don't understand. They're protesting so the kids don't get vaccinated. They're protesting so
guess.
the teachers don't get. Like, what's the?
I don't know exactly. Nobody.
We need
understands
to
the
know
reason.
what's going on. I don't know if I should be mad or happy.
So anyway,
Be bappy.
Okay.
so that's what happened with him, and so the controversy wasn't that. Look what that guy said, and good for Trudeau or whatever. That
Yeah.
whole thing. It was Trudeau telling the guy, "Don't you have a hospital to go demonstrate in front of?" When he's been bashing these anti-vaxxers for demonstrating for no purpose.
I mean,
But is
And
everyone?
everybody-
But is
everybody-
everyone? Here's the problem I have with Trudeau, and you just did the same mistake.
Yeah.
Trudeau, I guess, doesn't assume, but he's making it seem like the only people that are against him are anti-vaxxers. I'm not an anti-vaxxer. I'm not liking Trudeau. Like, you don't have to be an anti-vaxxer to dislike Trudeau. He's basically trying to trick people.
It's like,
he's basically, if you're against me, you must be,
It's a version of like a straw man.
Yeah. It's like, oh, if you don't like me, that means that you must be a Nazi. And then so many people fall for it.
I like that he defended his wife's honor. Fine.
Yeah, I'm good with
That's
that.
Fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
They're partners.
Good job.
They're married.
Yeah.
But I hate that he took an opportunity. I'm also impressed that he was smart enough to do it, by the way. But I hate that he took the opportunity to make it about something else. It's like, don't you have because he's been going on about that a lot now, right?
Yeah.
They're endangering our children.
Yeah, he's lying because all these people that are protesting are vaccinated. He's lying about what they're
the whole
protesting.
thing about going and protesting and not allowing ambulances to enter emergency rooms, which
I
has
didn't
happened.
see that shit.
I have.
Where the fuck have you seen that? You went
on
outside the
Twitter.
hospital and saw
I
that?
saw it on Twitter.
Forget Twitter, bro. Twitter's not the real world.
I can't be everywhere. I'm not omnipotent.
I know, but there's a lot of fucking bullshit out there.
There is, but like I found multiple stories that like they don't seem related. So I'm assuming that this has happened at least once. That's fucked up. Like
Yeah, it's fucked
you're
up, but I
going and you're
haven't seen an
protesting,
actual
but they're
case
also
of that.
spinning it, and they're like, why would you protest in front of these burnt out healthcare workers when a lot of them are healthcare workers? That's the fucked up thing.
But the healthcare workers are not, and this is the thing, the healthcare workers that are protesting are not anti-vax because they don't want a vaccine mandate, right? Does not make them anti-vax because there's people who get double vaxxed and still go in support of, no, we shouldn't force. And a lot of people that are vaxxed don't support vaccinating kids. So there's so many nuances.
Yeah.
I can't just blanket everyone. You know how crazy that is to be like, you just don't believe in science. And the guy's like, I'm a doctor, I'm vaccinated, I'm against vaccinating kids. What the fuck are you talking about? Like,
here's my Nobel Science Award.
like what are you talking about? But it's so much easier for imbeciles to just group everyone in one. Like, "Daddy, anime." And we can't
In
fall
the
for that. Do not fall
in
for
the
that nonsense.
Context of today's society,
Yeah.
that's what they do. You say one thing, you get grouped with another group or another two groups, and you're the other.
And it's interesting what you're saying because there was an article in the National Post, I think yesterday, that I read that specifically tackled the topic of all these demonstrators and all this support that seems to be climbing for the People's Party, PPC, for Maxime Bernier's party. So there's this fringe of people that are so frustrated with the situation, whether they're anti-vaxxers or whether they're just like you mentioned, just frustrated with the different things that make no sense. They don't want the Liberals, obviously. They don't see themselves represented in the Conservative Party either, and everything has gone to the PPC. I've been saying it that I don't know how many episodes now. I think that the polls are underestimating the PPC. I think they're going to do much better than what people are thinking.
Okay, they will do much better than people are
And
thinking.
here's the
I
thing
agree,
now,
but they don't have enough candidates around to elect
No,
prime minister.
they have candidates.
point,
They have
Not enough
support
to elect
across the
the prime
candidates. They
minister.
don't have enough concentrated support to win a riding. That's the problem. So in terms of the popular vote, they may actually get more vote than the Green Party.
Oh, that I believe.
But
yeah.
it's not concentrated enough to win a
make it-
riding.
yeah, okay.
So this article and the National Post is a little bit more, a right of center paper, right? So there, and the article comes out like now we're talking about 4 or 5 days left in the campaign, where they're neck and neck, and so the article I can't remember who wrote it. I think I have it here. Hold on a second. Where is it?
That's fucking great.
Tasha Carradine. So she's thinking. So her analysis is like, listen, you guys better figure out what you want because all this support that is going to the PPC is only going to benefit the Liberals. A lot of and in the polls, like over, I think close to 60% of the people that were polled that are supporting the PPC had voted for the Conservative Party in the last election. So this is going to potentially damage the Conservative Party, especially in ridings where the difference was so narrow between the two parties. If you have even remotely 1, 2, 3% go to the PPC, it
changes.
It could bring up the Liberals, right? So
well, I think that's the one thing we're not talking about. Someone brought up to me 3 days ago that the PPC is probably Trudeau's best friend right now. They're going to do him a huge favor.
Which is probably maybe that's a strategy. I mean, we don't know, right? We can assume all we want, and but the fact that he's playing in so hard on these guys, creating that enmity between them, maybe he wants to give, put what's it called? Put fuel to the flame.
I think what you told us.
Passionately penis them. That's
No, so that means that what you told us a long time ago is actually correct. That some of the people he chose in his cabinet might not be the best for the job, but in general, his political team, they're savvy as fuck. They're experienced. The guys are. They know what the fuck they're doing. Because right now they've created this straw man that we all actually try to argue for and all this. And then I realized this is the smartest fucking thing. Take votes away from the Conservatives. Just make sure you get elected. That's all you care about. And that's what he's doing.
Yeah, feed into the PPC crowd,
Yeah.
divide the other guy's vote.
Yeah.
But you
Smart.
know,
I
but
found
here,
him yelling at a heckler about going to a hospital.
yeah,
No, but I don't care. I want to know what the heckler said. And I like the fact that he stood up for. I think you should. I don't like the idea of he's a prime minister. He shouldn't have said anything. Say whatever the fuck you want.
why?
As long as he's not dropping like an N-bomb or something crazy. If the,
Can you imagine?
Yeah, that would have been crazy. But if the guy says your wife's a whore, and Trudeau's there, he's like, my wife's not a whore, bro. Your mom's a fucking whore. I'm fine with that. I'm like, all right, go ahead.
Yeah, because you know what sucks in this situation is that you can like or hate Justin Trudeau, do whatever you want. Okay, his family didn't choose. Like you know, they're there to support him in what he's doing, but. They have nothing to do with this, man. Like they have zero.
Yeah,
like,
she doesn't dictate policy.
You know what I mean? They didn't choose for this to happen. I mean, they're just supporting him and they're doing the best they can, and they
Are you talking
deal
about
with.
his wife still?
Eh?
You're still talking about his wife?
I'm talking about in general the politician's
'Cause
life.
I'm pretty sure she didn't just end up there by accident.
No, but it doesn't matter. Even if she knew, if it doesn't,
She's
that
actually
doesn't-
prime minister, is what I'm trying to say.
No, but even like she's not the one dictating policy.
Yeah,
and
but
stuff,
but she's not the one, deciding. Like Pantelis saying, she's not the one taking decisions. She's there to support her husband. Maybe she likes the fact that she's the prime minister's wife. That's a whole other story.
This is the problem.
You obviously need that kind of support if you want to reach that kind of level. But
It's the problem with adopting a position on like let's say a side, left or right, and not putting any time for nuance or like anyone associated. Like Phil, I don't know. Phil is loves the NDP, so all his friends are fucking communists. I fucking I hate communism. Just because Phil likes the NDP and he was gonna run for the NDP doesn't mean that I'm a You know what I'm saying? Like that association. It's
I like how
fucking
you're
weird.
burning our
full
bridges.
video.
You're disassociating from me just in case.
No, I'm just I don't like it because Christine does it a lot in the chat. You know, she it's that super. I have to agree even if it's nonsense because this is my ideology. I've linked my identity with this thing. Don't do that. Like Mike yesterday, he released more tickets for Victoriaville, his show.
Yeah.
And people got mad because they thought he released. Yeah, they thought he released tickets because people got their tickets canceled because of the vaccine mandates, right? And they go, I can't believe you're pushing vaccine passports and this and that. Mike doesn't dictate policy of vaccine.
No.
And the reason why more tickets were available was because they opened up a new section because restrictions were lowered. It's not they kicked anyone out.
Which is
But
hilarious.
people
if you
started
think about it.
blaming Mike as if he decided to initiate the vaccine passport. Mike doesn't want to initiate the vaccine passport. It's not. That's the government that makes
My
it.
understanding
it's
was that it was Mike.
You plant your feet in the ground and you're like, this is the hill I'm gonna die on, and then you start saying nonsense. And the reason why I brought up Christine is because I remember 2 weeks ago when she's like, oh, Aaron O'Toole, I'm scared for abortion or whatever. So
Well, she's
but
scared
he
of-
never dictated anything. You're putting an image, you're creating an enemy, and then you're scared of it. It's like, what are
I
you
looked
talking
into
about?
that afterwards because I was like, have they really? Has Aaron O'Toole? The only thing I found that was slightly damning in that conversation was him bringing a motion to reopen the debate. Like he brought it up in the House. It was Aaron O'Toole who was like, I want to discuss. I don't know when it was from. That's the thing, but it was in the last 2 years because it was COVID time. I could tell from, but still, he did bring back that bill. So like, there is something to be said for him.
He didn't bring a bill to the table.
Well, what
No, he
happened?
didn't bring a bill. He
well,
wanted
look,
to reopen the discussion.
Yeah, because look, the whole debate.
What is the debate?
Yeah.
It's not necessarily on Aaron O'Toole because he's made it very clear that he's pro-choice. The issue that Aaron
He shouldn't be
O'Toole-
pro-choice.
Okay. The issue that he's having is that he has members in his caucus that are pro-life. Okay.
That's not an issue. That's people have
But,
different varying
but
opinions.
that's his argument. So a member of his caucus tabled a motion or whatever to bring back this.
Yeah.
Okay.
So as the leader of his party, he supported his member tabling this.
See,
this motion.
that's nuanced, and that makes more sense than him saying Aaron O'Toole's bringing. You see what I'm saying?
But that's where the
That's
whole
not what I said.
controversy.
Hang on.
But
yes,
hold
it
on.
is what you said.
You will
said
not put
Aaron
me-
O'Toole brought this is on video.
I said, and we can watch it again.
Yeah.
Play the tapes back.
Yeah.
The only thing that's slightly damning is that he is the one who brought it forward in the House. That's all I'm
Right.
saying.
I like what he said because it explains everything on why he did
But
it.
George
'Cause
interrupted
the way
me.
you
I
said
wasn't
it-
finished. I said,
you were
George, continue.
finished, sir.
But
You were
but
done.
look, this is the controversy here because, and this is where he's being attacked on. It's like, forget about what you believe in. What if a member of your caucus
Yeah.
believes differently? Where do you stand? Are you going to allow someone in your caucus
To
to
speak?
table any sort of motion that is contradictory to what you believe?
Well, yeah, of course, because you have a party. It's a democracy.
and that's where he has an issue.
yeah.
But
But you have a democracy. You can't say, I believe in this, so everyone in my party needs to shut the fuck up. Because Trudeau did the whole woke thing before. Remember what Trudeau said? Trudeau said, I'm not going to hire for my cabinet the most qualified people. I'm going to divide it based on percentages.
The difference, look,
and it led to this economy.
In normal times, under normal circumstances, that's what it's supposed to be, because you have a caucus that goes from one coast to the other, where people come from completely different cultural backgrounds, but they adhere to the Conservative Party ideology, and that's fine. That's the whole idea. Like, it's like in your family, like, you're much less than a caucus of 50 people, and you can't agree on certain things, right? So, and this is the reality of a political family.
It's the reality of human life.
The difference, however, the contrast with Trudeau is that it's a hard line. It's like, if you are against abortions, you're not in the caucus. Fuck it. We are all on the same page, or you're out. Yeah. It's like
Trudeau has a hard line.
Exactly.
Yeah, but that's kind of crazy.
I mean, look, it's the decision that he made, and I mean,
because it's supposed to be politics, not religion, right? I'd rather have people allowed to have varying opinions.
100%. I agree.
You know what I'm saying?
But the thing is, guys, and
that's how the world moves forward.
But this is the very fascinating thing about this is the very fascinating thing about Canada, is that it's such a vast country where people can have completely different experiences and different beliefs about one same thing, right? And when you're the leader of the Conservative Party, where you have elected members all the way from the East Coast to the West Coast, it's normal for someone in Quebec, like a conservative in Quebec, not to think the same way like a conservative out in Alberta. You understand?
Yeah.
The culture is very different, so it's not easy managing all that reality. But in any case, what we were saying before about the rise of the PPC, what's interesting for me and what I'm thinking, and I can't wait for the results on Monday, is to see if actually the people that seem to support the PPC are actually going to vote for PPC. Because if the polls are this morning, I saw the Nanos poll, the Conservatives are up again, I think, a point. Yesterday, the Liberals were up 2 points. So
it's very exciting.
It's crazy. They're neck and neck. I mean, like I told you guys, when you have like a 3 to 5 point spread, it's negligible.
It could change every day depending on something that happens.
It's negligible. You're within the margin of error, because every one of these polls, there's a margin of error of 2 or 3%, something like that.
Yeah.
So when you see anything within, like, let's say 4 to 5 points, like it's negligible. But the question that I have, the curiosity that I have, is when a person like this that seems to be supporting the PPC goes to the poll on Monday to vote, and this is what I'm thinking: are they going to say, fuck the Conservatives, fuck the Liberals, I'm all the way PPC? Or are they going to have the reflex of thinking, shit, am I going to split the vote? Should I just vote Conservative so that the Liberals won't go through again?
I think you give a lot of people more credit than they deserve, because most people wouldn't even consider that.
A lot of people are considering it. I've been talking to people.
Not that many.
Look, I wasn't considering that until this article came out. So if you have more right-of-center papers that are coming out with articles like this suggesting that if you support the PPC, you're splitting your vote and the Liberals are going to win, the guy's going to think twice when he goes to the box.
Well, I think you should think twice before any vote. You should think about what's in your interest, what's in the country's interest, all that. But it is funny because yesterday talking, people have brought, like at the cafe, people have brought up the fact that no
parenthesis.
Because people have brought up the fact that they're like, no, I'm hardcore. I'm voting only NDP only, PPC. Like this is what I even know. What do you really want? They're like, I'm voting, let's say PPC because I want Trudeau out.
Yeah,
and I want to see Maxime Bernier as Prime Minister. You can vote PPC with your heart. It is not going to make Maxime Bernier Prime Minister. Yeah. So if you're actually trying to get Trudeau out, that's not the strategy.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, it's just same thing with Jagmeet. Oh, I think he's going to be. He won't be Prime Minister. I guarantee you, he will not be Prime Minister.
There are
I'm telling you.
on St. Roch who support Jagmeet Singh.
Yes, there are people on St. Roch.
Really?
Yes, there are people on St. Roch who support Jagmeet Singh.
Jesus.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm very surprised by that.
Yeah.
It's interesting, actually.
So that's what I'm saying.
I like being surprised.
So at the end of the day, from what the polls are showing now,
and they're not Indian, they're Greek.
No, but
from what the polls are showing now and what the people are going to decide once they're behind that curtain, it could change drastically.
When is the election?
Monday.
All it takes is a flick of the wrist.
I have my advanced polling thing. I could go here soon.
It's done.
Yeah.
Advanced polls are done.
It was yesterday.
Fuck!
It was, I think, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
It was,
I've
Monday.
made the decision.
Oh yeah,
that
the week passed fast.
I think I'm not going to vote.
You should vote.
I'm gonna vote.
In my writing,
By the way, guys, I want to show you guys the
my writing
video
is a waste of my time.
Would you say, Poseidon?
I want to show you guys the video of Trudeau being insulted.
Okay.
All right, let's see it.
Can they see it or only we can
Contains
see it?
inappropriate language. Okay.
What is this?
Imagine it's Trudeau going, "Stop it, you silly."
No, I'm on Trudeau's side for this. Let's go.
Oh, they beeped it.
Whoa, they said, "Where's your wife?" I hope she goes fuck something.
Go play back.
Yeah, they're beeping it, man. I don't know.
Bro, can I say something
Hold
right
on,
now?
hold on. I heard she's a whore. That's what he said.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Can I say something?
Go ahead.
Trudeau didn't even do enough. People are mad at Trudeau. This guy's there. It's you and your girlfriend or your wife. Some guy
Your
says,
wife's a whore. What do you do?
Yeah, hey Poseidon, your wife's a whore. What do you do, bro?
Play it.
Honestly,
Yeah. You backhand that motherfucker.
Yeah.
You turn him into a bitch, right?
If Trudeau had come out and beat the shit out of that guy, I'd be like,
Yeah.
well, look,
So,
play.
not only is
Can
Trudeau...
you play? Did he go after them or did he say it from where he was?
No,
Let's
he
see.
said it from where he was. He's
Let's
not
see.
that much.
There's Adam Scotty taking pictures.
Oh, yeah.
The ginger?
Yeah.
Oh, he's still going, yeah?
I feel bad for Trudeau there. That's a weird situation to be in.
Listen to the music playing.
Yeah.
No, we ain't
Isn't
gonna
there a
take
hospital
it.
you should be going to bother right now?
He's so proud of himself. He thought so
Look,
long.
it's not the best line.
No.
Yeah.
looks like
Look,
such a dweeb.
Look. He did dweeb it up.
Should be going to a hospital.
He acted like he did. Okay, look.
He has that head movement.
I'm gonna be 100% honest. He did pull a sassy black lady without the
It wa-
actual good content. It wasn't the best comeback.
more like a sassy Indian lady.
But he was in his full right,
Oh,
and
yeah,
I
for
think
sure.
he should have went harder.
I
think
agree.
he should have went harder. What do you think is gonna happen? Like this whole this guy's a public figure. I can
you-
say whatever I want to.
This is
you
in
know-
this is in BC, right? Yeah.
And,
You know-
think about it for a second.
you know-
a lot of people are say, what was he going to do? You're the Prime Minister of Canada.
Do whatever you want.
You have security everywhere. This guy calls your wife a whore. You're like, hey,
Yeah.
Bob,
Yeah.
Jack, fuck him up.
Man, I'd be like
Take him
this.
away.
Bob, Jack, stand back. Poseidon, bring him over here.
Yeah, bring him over here. Just
No, it's like I'm off. So people, this is the thing that I hate about the fucking media, bro. They're such cocksuckers. Oh, Trudeau said this. This is the one time Trudeau's right about doing that.
Yeah.
I
Like
mean,
the
he did it
blackface.
badly. He did
the
it badly.
blackface you made excuses for. The sexual harassment you made excuses for. The corruption you made excuses for. And then this, he's the bad guy. Are you
free
people
jet
fucked in
rights.
the
You
head?
forgot
the
about the
thing.
free jet
Are
rights.
you people
Here's
crazy?
the thing: if I was the because they're calling him a heckler,
Well,
I
he
would have
was
went after him
technically.
personally.
Yeah.
I would have attacked him and his.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. That's a low blow.
That's what I
going
love
at-
about you as a person, as a heckler. You're honorable.
Yes,
You're an honorable heckler.
Even in street fights, there's honor.
There's no
look,
honor in street fights.
He's right there. The prime minister is right there, and you don't like the prime minister. You can yell a million and one things about corruption, about anything he's done, about
you can even
firing.
call his
Coulda
hair
yelled,
stupid.
He could have
That's
yelled,
fine.
"Where's your shoe polish, bro?"
Yeah, anything.
good one.
Hey, where's your shoe polish? How come you're not in blackface? He could have yelled anything specifically for him.
Looking
But
a
to-
little pale, Trudeau.
Your mom's a whore. It's like, bro, I'm right here. You could tell me stuff about me.
Yeah.
Are we not going to talk about why his pants are so high?
Whatever. It's a style. It's a stylistic
Is
choice.
that a thing now? Is that back?
They're not high, man.
They seem high.
They seem high. I think his torso is smaller than the.
Yeah, it's
That's
weird.
what it is. Yeah,
They should do something about
it's
that.
fine. You can't do anything about it. That's just how he's made.
Oh,
Yes.
what does he say here?
I mean, he changed the color of his skin. He can't change the length of his torso. Oh, there's
No, anyways, that I feel bad. It's an awkward situation to put the guy in, and I'm not for that. That I don't like. That I
Is
don't
there
like.
more to this clip, Poseidon?
No,
No, that's the
it.
clip.
No,
Oh, okay.
I don't like that. I don't approve of that.
Because the way that it was portrayed, because I didn't see this. Obviously, I read about it.
Where is your
or
wife?
I heard it
I heard
on the
she's a
radio.
whore. No,
Where's your
what a
wife? I
weird
heard she's a
thing.
whore.
Because the
No,
way
no,
that,
I don't
the,
like that
the
shit.
way they
That's stupid.
I don't like that shit.
The way they talked about this was as if he went after them, and it was as if his wife was giving an interview.
That's why I can never go into politics, by the way, because that shit happens to me. I'll smack a motherfucker.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
but
have
it's
to
not
hold
just
a
politics, it's
relationship
ju-
for more than 3 weeks.
Yeah.
That I don't like. So this, I just want to say that we
support
condemn this.
Justin.
Yeah.
No, we don't support Justin. But
In his endeavor.
oh, in this, I support Justin. Yeah,
Yeah,
he should,
yeah.
I think he didn't even do anything. I think he should have done more.
I agree with that.
Attack his character, yes, but don't go for family, friends.
Which character? The black one
There's a long list to choose from.
Like a huge list, yeah.
or the Indian? Which one?
Oh, by the way, while we've been arguing and shit and saying all this shit, I quietly put Olga in the gulag because she was bragging about being in the gulag 3 times. So I put her 4th time, bro.
What do you mean she bragged?
She bragged.
He
Bro.
likes the gulag. Okay.
You got mad at her for bragging?
No, I didn't get mad.
You know
So
what?
hold on.
Yeah, okay, go
You
ahead.
got upset because she mentioned that
No, I
she
didn't
used
get
to be,
upset.
that she's been in the gulag before. You didn't. You were like, oh, you've mentioned you've gone to the gulag. How about another visit? Is that what happened?
Yeah, because it's nothing to brag about, bro. The gulag is
You remember when you
rough.
were a kid and
It is rough,
Hold
but I
on.
have a question. So
Yeah.
you think someone who got out of jail if he drives by the jail, he's like, "Ha! I used to be in there. Good thing I'm out." The cops are like, "Come here, motherfucker." Is that how you think that works?
The problem with the gulag is that it's like the word queer. Okay, they've appropriated it now. It's their thing, the gulag. It's like a badge of honor. So
Isn't the word queer always cool?
I think it used to be a discriminatory term.
Now it is.
Maybe
No, it used to be.
Oh.
And then they're like, we're taking it back.
Really?
Yeah, but they said it more sassy than
These
that.
fucking queers are sensitive, bro. That's the.
I think that's okay now. You can say that.
I like the word queer. That's a fun word.
What does it stand
doesn't
for?
feel
Where did
offensive.
it come from?
Queer?
Yeah. Does it have
It's a real word.
I know it's a real word, but how did it come about? It's an interesting word.
I don't think it has anything to do with gay.
Queer sounds like a vegan dish.
Poseidon, pull up the
That's a
definition of
quiche.
queer.
You're
Where it
thinking
came
of a
from.
quiche, but that's not vegan.
Quiche. I'd like to have some queer.
I'll have a queer Lorraine. For brunch. With a little
Queer definition.
Yeah. Go into incognito mode. Too late.
It's a definition, bro. Jesus Christ.
My manager just complimented me on that comment from the
Vedette
journalist.
absolute.
No, because he goes, "That's what it is." He goes, "You're the underground."
So,
By the way,
are
okay,
the
so the
youth.
definition of queer,
Yeah. I don't want the definition. I want the etymology.
that's how it sounds.
We know how it sounds. We've been saying it.
Hold on, we gotta hear it one last time.
Queer.
We gotta hear it one last time.
Queer.
Okay, we know how it sounds. Where does it come from?
Okay.
Daddy,
Adjective,
chill.
strange, odd. She had a queer feeling that they were being watched.
Oh, is that what it means?
Second definition, often offensive, of a person homosexual.
Of a person homosexual. Can you write etymological origins of the word queer?
well, we know what it means. It means something strange, off. So they.
No, I just want to know where it came from. Like, I'm curious.
And there's a third,
third.
way you can use it, informal way.
Yeah.
Spoil or ruin an agreement, event, or situation.
Oh yeah, he queered it up. Yeah,
Reg
and that's
did-
how they used to use it, and then they used it.
Yeah. Reg
That's
didn't.
so mean that they did it that way.
Well,
then.
fag was just for annoying people. You used to just call annoying people fags.
I don't
and
think that's where that started.
Yes, it did.
No, a fag is a bundle of sticks.
Yeah, it was a bundle of
Yeah.
sticks that you
Oh, yeah.
firewood, so it was annoying to carry around. So then when it was
right.
used against people, it was like, bro, don't be such a fag. And then it turned into, oh, that guy's and it became
Yeah, yeah.
if they're gay. That's what happened.
I like that you
And
said it
fag-
3
and-
times, then censored yourself for the last one. Like, you cut it.
I didn't censor.
No, but you just didn't finish the sentence.
Oh well, you
It's
get what I'm saying.
subconscious.
Yeah, it's because that's a good fag's a good word. It's easy. It's to the
It also means
point.
a cigarette, right?
Yeah,
In the
that's what I'm
UK.
saying. It wasn't always for. So that's a word we have to take back.
Yeah.
That's the word we have to take back.
I used to
Since
do
it wasn't
Do it.
meant, since it wasn't meant to be a gay slur, we should not allow it to be a gay slur. We
I
gotta
didn't
keep
know
using
it was a
brother
bundle
stuff.
of sticks, and I cannot wait for my next outside adventure where I can be like, "Can you pass me those fags over there?"
Yeah.
That's
Well, I
great.
used to
I'm
get
gonna
a-
use it in context. That's fantastic.
Well, I used to get away with it in work situations where I used to call people faggots. I go, what? It's
I mean, but if you use the whole word,
I think faggot is
that's a different thing.
because I excuse the bundle of sticks.
but that doesn't make any sense. You're like, come here, you fag. What do you mean? You're a bundle of sticks. No, that doesn't make any sense.
Because you lost weight.
No, like because I'd get yelled at work for using that word.
No
Yeah,
kidding.
obviously you're at work.
Oh my god!
Are you fucking stupid? By the way, Poseidon used to work in elementary school, just so you guys know. He was the lunch lady.
Next in line.
Yeah, that's a word that because they say what words you can take back. Some you can't. Some have no way of being redeemed. That's a word that could be redeemed because even me, like if I've used fag, I haven't used it
I never. It was
for
not a word
sexual.
I ever
It was
used,
always
ever.
for people that are annoying. So that I don't mind coming back, and it's an easy word to say. But it takes time. It takes effort to bring words
I
back.
really enjoyed describing situations or things as homosexual out of context. Like someone will say something to me, like, "Look at this. It's kind of strange," and then like, "Isn't that cool?" I'm like, "That's quite homosexual." I don't mean anything by it. I just like the look on people's faces because they're like, "What the fuck is he talking about?" Like, I like to misuse.
You got to
words.
get out more. Is the thing.
Didn't the
Oh,
word
it's been a pandemic, man.
didn't the word gay used to mean happy?
It
still does.
does.
We'll have
Still
a
does.
gay old time. The Flintstones
Yeah.
were gay as fuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't-
Flintstones were super gay.
Yeah.
The homosexuals took that too.
No, the homosexuals didn't take anything.
Well, they took something.
It's we started.
The homosexuals.
No,
See, it's fun to say homosexual.
Yeah, homosexual is super fun. I said it on stage yesterday in a very, very funny way. It's just you apply so labels, right? Labels are so. This is the thing. This is what we do as
Connotations.
this is what we do in comedy too. We oversimplify for the gag, right? But society does that too. That's what labels are. right? That's what the anti-vax, black, white, green labels are just easier. You label something and then you know what it is. So it's just labels that were short, sweet, to the point, just so you can isolate what that person is or what he does. That's all it was. And then how you take it. Some stuff was super negative and some stuff was super derogatory. And then we move on society like that.
Side note, completely different subject. I want to ask a question. When you guys, not you, because I think you know, but Poseidon, when you say gulag, what are you referring to? I just want to know. Like,
Sex
how do you... What?
Sex dungeon.
Sex dungeon.
Sex dungeon.
That's what that is.
Wait. Where did you learn the word gulag?
He'd clearly never learned it.
Hold on. No.
He heard the
It's
word.
prison for Russian. It's a prison. It means prison in Russian. That's what it is. It's a gulag.
Is that what it actually
I
means?
think so. Yeah.
It's a prison camp.
I know that
Yeah,
it's prison camps in
camp. It's a
Siberia
prison
were
camp.
the gulags,
Yeah.
where they sent,
A system. Oh, it's a labor camp. Sorry.
a labor camp.
Whatever.
No, I just wanted to know if you actually knew that it was a historical term, or if you know it
Oh,
from
no,
the
I
video
knew-
game.
no,
He
no.
didn't know it was a historical term. He heard it in a video
He
game.
thought it was a sex dungeon.
Yeah.
Imagine he starts
I
a
didn't
podcast,
actually think
Poseidon's gulag. He's like, hello, Nastarovia Platz.
So when you're sending these people there, what you're thinking like, yeah.
They're going to work in the mines.
So when you were sending
sex.
Christine to the, you thought you were sending her to your
a
sex
sex
dungeon as
dungeon.
well.
No, that was a joke. I was just fucking around right now.
Sure it was. Sure it was.
If
Oh,
you,
that's kind of
you
homosexual.
guys got to see his face.
All right.
All right.
So
I'm hungry.
So
Should we
yeah.
order a pizza. A morning pizza
You're hungry.
with like breakfast sausage.
All this.
Starving.
All this talk about sex
Guys,
dungeons.
2 days ago, I went to a restaurant
him
from my
hungry.
youth, okay? I went to a restaurant from my youth 2 days ago, and he fucking food poisoned me. And it ruined me for a whole
Can
day.
I say something? I assume you did get poisoned. I'm going to say that I'm with you. I
Maybe
believe
not like full-on
I believe the
poisoning,
Albanians
but-
poisoned you is what I'm going to say. However, you are very sensitive. A strong wind will get you.
I would
give
agree with
diarrhea.
you normally,
Yeah.
but don't laugh. One time it was like at the same time.
That's how loose your asshole is.
No, it made a sound. It wasn't.
What the fuck am I doing here?
George ran from a provincial election. Okay? He look at Poseidon's dead.
Talking about his.
Yeah, let's get that on video. Yeah. Not.
No, he's laughing at George.
Yeah, I know.
Oh jeez.
So, the only reason I know that it wasn't my
Yeah.
my sensitivity, my daughter was also sick, and my grandfather, I found out, went there a week ago to get souvlaki, and he also got sick for 2 days right after.
Interesting.
So, like, that's...
Yeah. It's
And, like, as I was paying, I realized they were filling the water pitchers up from where they wash the dishes. You know, that big, deep
What?
sink? Like, from the tap, not from,
Oh.
like...
No,
Can you imagine?
Oh, I've seen some shit in those sinks.
Yeah, meet the ladza.
I've taken a shit in those things. What? Wait, what?
The bathroom was. Too
I
far.
once watched a grown man bathe in one of those sinks. Story for another day.
What?
I can tell you restaurant stories.
Dad, you're not supposed to come to work with me.
Go to your room. We're not even home.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So yeah, so that's why I'm hungry, because yesterday I barely ate. My stomach was a mess, so now I'm starving.
Well, that has
I feel
nothing to
good
do with the
again.
show. So thank you, Phil, for derailing.
The
us.
breakfast pizza.
That's not has nothing to do with the show.
There's no such thing as a breakfast pizza.
There's no such thing as breakfast. Well, anything could be
Wait,
breakfast.
hold
if
on.
you-
There's
you're
no
brave
such thing
enough.
as a breakfast pizza.
I mean, you could make a breakfast
We
pizza
should.
if
We
you
should
have-
market that shit.
I don't eat pizza anymore.
What if it was gluten free?
No, I'm not scared
Carb
of gluten.
free. Carb
Oh,
free.
they do have breakfast pizza.
Carb free?
It
Because you don't
doesn't
like the psomakis.
Hold
I
on.
know.
Yeah,
Hold
it's
on.
fake. What they say,
It's
carb
with
free is
eggs.
fake. Everything has carbs.
It's with eggs and bacon.
Yeah, anything could.
it's
Yeah, just make
basically,
it
egg pizza.
Yeah, we got that.
Do you not eat bread at all anymore?
I cut it out. Yeah.
Completely.
Yeah.
Like you won't even like a
good.
pita bread.
Once maybe in a month or some shit, but like it has to be that one time, or I'm trying to lose weight.
That's amazing though, because cutting up bread for me is probably the hardest thing.
Yeah, I got.
No, George, you're confused. Cutting bread is hard. You try to-
I tried to lose weight.
You know what? I quit soda. I quit afternoon coffee. I want to quit smoking, but I don't think I could ever quit bread. All the other things were hard, but bread, man.
I love bread, but I also
fucking you get it
I
and
want to
not have to eat
live.
it.
I want to live, Jack. Live.
You can live with bread. Just eat the kind of bread our ancestors ate.
Look, I gotta
Dark
survive.
breads.
I'm
Whole
here.
wheat, yeah.
Listen, if I die,
Barley wheat.
If I die, Poseidon goes hungry. I cannot have that on my dead conscious.
All
I
about
gotta
Poseidon.
survive.
It's all about
You
Poseidon.
won't have that on your dead conscious because, surprise, you'll be dead.
I don't know what happens after I die.
right,
What if I
fair.
just live in a guilt-free hole thinking about this guy crying?
Why a hole? Why is it? Oh, it's a guilt-free hole. That's fine. It's guilt-free.
Oh,
You
that's
just said
true,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, you're fine. Do it.
Oh, okay.
Eat some bread.
I mean, some bread. No, I just don't want to, I want to lose some weight. I want to be healthy.
I know, I understand, but
What
life
the
is
fuck
short.
do you
Eat the
care
bread.
whether or not I eat bread?
I want you to eat the bread.
No.
I don't care.
Fucking
I'm
guy.
just wondering how you did it. It's good.
I'll tell you exactly how I
George
did it.
has bread
Said
in
I'm going to
his
stop eating
pockets.
bread, and then I stopped eating bread. That's exactly how everyone's I literally just said, okay, I'm going to stop eating bread. I don't want to die. And every time there's bread available, I'm like, I got to lose some weight. And then I don't do it. Yeah. And I don't like the feeling. I don't like feeling
Bloated?
Bread was making me feel bloated a lot of times because I would eat it with every meal. And it's like, I don't want to. I hate that feeling. I like feeling
It's
nimble.
Honestly, it's impressive because
Limber.
we could have all the
Yeah.
food in the world at home, and if there's no bread, I'm like, we don't have any food. What am I gonna eat?
Yeah. Bread is big.
It's a Greek thing.
I
It
love
is.
bread.
Yeah. Well, everyone in the world likes bread. Yeah.
So
Sa passion pour la baguette.
let's just.
Oh, I like that.
That's good.
Let's just finish up here with the election. So that's what just
Vote-
to go
vote
just to
bread
finish
party.
up on the PPC.
Yes.
There's gonna I have a
PPC, you don't even know me.
So I just
down
have a
with
feeling.
PPC.
I just have a feeling that now, like we're literally in the last stretch. Something tells me that there's going to be more than one articles coming out talking about how they're going to split the conservative vote.
To actually force people to vote conservative instead of
Yeah.
voting.
Look, if they do that, that's smart because then
Smart.
at least we're gonna have a fucking clear winner. But let's see what happens,
Yeah,
man.
we'll
You
see
never
what
know.
happens. We'll see what happens. But speaking of this election, and I don't know if we spoke about it in the last episode where Premier Legault came out and just bluntly said, guys, you should vote for the Conservative Party because they've promised everything to Quebec. I don't know if we mentioned that last episode.
I have a question.
So
What
he's-
if
Yeah.
What if Trudeau would come out now and be like, all right, guys, change the plan. We're going to do the shit that I want to do, but also, I've been thinking about it, all the stuff that O'Toole promised, we're going to do that shit too. Wouldn't he just pull the rug from under him?
But see, this is the thing, because there was an article in La Presse, I think I read yesterday, from Michel Séauger, who said that Legault's endorsement of the Conservative Party could be very risky for Quebec in the sense that, yes, he's promising everything to Quebec, but in terms of financial transfers to Quebec, they're getting a lot less than what the Liberals are promising, especially for the daycares. He's promised $6 billion for the daycares, which Aaron O'Toole hasn't said anything about. He's talking about giving tax credits rather than funding the actual daycare system.
Good.
Which is, according to this journalist, bad because don't forget that $6 billion Legault is taking without any conditions. So he can use it as he pleases, wherever he wants.
So it doesn't have to go to daycares.
Well, the way that the deal they made with Trudeau was that I'll give you $6 billion over 6 years with no conditions. So if that's where the pressure comes on Legault, because he can actually use it to fund the daycares, or he could use it at $6 billion
That's what I'm
in
saying.
your pocket.
So one goes to the government and they could fuck you over, not fund the daycares, or the other is for parents a direct tax
but
rate, so you get the money, you could spend it on your
but
daycares.
we're not looking at that. We're looking at money coming to Quebec.
Okay, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Let's not. One is more reasonable. I fuck the government, bro. I want to get the money.
So
let me decide.
So there's that, and then the other major issue that he mentions, which I
you.
didn't even see it in their platform, is O'Toole's plan on passing a motion that was tabled by one of his members about altering the transfer payments, the formula for the transfer payments. Because, every year, each province, depending on their capacity to finance, the province gets transfer payments. So Quebec gets about $13 billion.
to balance the budget.
No. It's just transfer payments. Like the richer provinces support the weaker ones, but it's not necessarily in terms of money. It's a strange formula that takes into account your capacity to finance the province, and that's
What the
why
fuck does that mean?
it's the room that you have to create wealth. Okay, so
Your
Quebec.
potential for earning.
But the government doesn't create wealth unless they stimulate small and medium businesses. That's who's going to create
well,
wealth.
this is the argument that kind of blocks Alberta, because Alberta doesn't have a provincial tax. So when they're saying we're giving away too much money for what we're getting, the government says, well, put a tax. You have a capacity to gain money, and you're not using it.
Oh, but it's not a
Which-
capacity to generate wealth. It's a capacity to tax their
Businesses and
citizens, in order to generate income for the provincial government.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
So
I have a question.
Yeah.
What if people decided where their taxes go, right?
It's never going to happen.
And then whatever they decided it goes in, let's say it goes into health, that's what they get access to.
That would be amazing. Oh, for you to get access.
Yeah. So let's say
Well, no,
what's important
because
to
that would be
you-
stupid, because then nobody would fund schools if they don't have kids.
Well, no, but let's say you're planning on having kids.
People might not
People
fund
are
schools.
short-sighted like
yeah,
that.
people are
They won't.
short-sighted.
If it
No,
doesn't
that's
affect
stupid.
them directly, and then
No,
now
no.
they won't.
The only thing that could happen is if there was a vote for, let's say, 5 things that look, my government has to we have to pick 5 things that the money goes to, and the 5 things you could choose from would be healthcare, so that they don't frivolously spend on nonsense.
Yeah, but
like
guys, this is what we call an election. That's what the platform is there. This is where we're going to spend money.
Poseidon actually
But the
said
thing is,
something
I don't
very telling.
decide. I don't decide the platform. So right now, you give me an option. Let's say, man, like, you know what I think is important. Putting X amount of money in having better hospitals and higher nurses, all that. That's never a platform. What they'll say is, we'll look into healthcare, we'll spend this. I want an actual, but they will never give you a real tangible platform, because then they have to commit to something, and they don't want to. They want to freely fuck with our money.
I forgot to add something.
Add it, baby.
So wherever you decide to your taxes go, that's the service you get. So let's say you put it into healthcare, you get the service of healthcare back without paying, or whatever the system we have now. But let's say you didn't put it in schooling or whatever, then you have to pay. It will be
so
like
stupid.
private.
You know how fucked up that is and how dumb that is?
Yeah, I think just
So dumb.
I think just the
was just an
government,
idea.
just the government infrastructure to manage that.
Yeah, it's so dumb.
Would cost like. And
Oh, you're allowed in. You're not. It's so stupid what you just said.
no.
No, I wouldn't be you're allowed, you're not allowed. It'd be that's where you're that's where
Like
your
what,
money
pay to
went.
play system. So
No,
basically,
but that's where your money went. That's what
that's
I know, but it doesn't make sense
how would you
in
even
the terms
manage that?
of a national government or of a provincial healthcare system. It doesn't make sense. Because let's say right now, so what happens if you get hit by a car and they need to rush you with emergency? They check like, oh no, he's not a taxpayer of, he decided to fund schools. Idiot. Wait till those kids grow up, they'll heal you. Like, you know. Yeah.
Look, it was just a thought.
Yeah.
It was a thought.
It was just a thought.
It
It
was
was
a
just a
thought.
thought.
So
I
anyway,
was just throwing it out there.
So this
Arrow in the dark.
Get the fuck out.
so again, this journalist is playing into the fact that maybe Legault is making the wrong decision here, supporting a party that will create less money coming into Quebec than the Liberals are.
I like that Legault supported individual freedoms and individual money rather than his own pockets. You know what? Point Legault. Good for him.
So, anyways, he's come under a lot of fire these weeks. And yesterday the National Assembly session started again, and there were criticisms flying left, right, and center because it came out that the leader of the opposition, well, Dominique Anglade's leader in the House is André Fortin. Super good guy. He's my boy. And I didn't know this, but he apparently, he's a liberal. Everyone knows that he's a liberal. He used to work for what's his name? Lapierre. Pas Lapierre. Whatever. He was the journalist that died in the plane crash. Lapierre.
9/11.
No, he was going. This is a sad story. Small parenthesis. I think his dad had passed away, and he was flying to the
I remember this.
Ile de la Madeleine
In like a
with his
small
family
airplane, yeah.
in a private jet.
And they all died?
And it crashed. They all died.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
Yeah, it
What's
was
his
like
first
6
name?
years ago.
That sounds like
7
Yeah,
a
a couple
plot to
years
a show
ago.
I watched.
What's his name? Lapierre. And it's whatever.
The news.
So he was elected. So he was elected, and André Fortin used to work for him. So obviously everybody knows that he's liberal. And it came out yesterday that he advised Trudeau for the debates. He coached him, and he actually worked with his debate team,
Jean Lapierre.
Jean Lapierre.
I wonder if he taught him the skills of the tantrum.
So in any case, it came out, and so Legault was like, "Okay, who's in charge over there at the Liberal Party?" And he's yelling at Dominique Anglade, "Who's your leader? Is it Mr. Fortin or is it Justin Trudeau?"
That's a good line.
But the point is this. He's not the fucking leader of the party. He wasn't elected by Quebecers to represent Quebecers. And, he, on his personal time, can do whatever the fuck he wants. He's a private citizen. If he wants to go help out Justin Trudeau, he can do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
You're the premier. You were elected to take care of Quebec, and you're coming out saying, vote for the Conservatives.
But but that's his.
It's
But he
unprecedented.
thinks that the best thing is.
it unprecedented?
Look, I kind of
yeah,
I find it
it's-
weird in general. I've already said this last week. I find it weird that you'd come out and pick anybody. I find that weird. You should just kind of stay out of it. But then I guess since he was elected to run Quebec, and he says, "Look, in my view, this is what's best for you guys." I understand it, but I still find it weird. I don't know why I find it weird
I
to
never
endorse
found it strange for provincial parties
to endorse federal
to endorse
parties.
like
It is in Quebec, and I'll tell you why. Because
It's weird, bro.
Quebec is one province where it differentiates from the other ones because it's the parties, they're not like affiliated. The Liberal Party of Quebec has nothing to do with the Liberal Party of Canada.
different.
Whereas in Ontario, they're, I don't know what the word is, they're kind of the same. In the Maritimes, the Liberal brand is the same federally and provincially. So that's why you'll have Justin Trudeau going to help in provincial elections over there.
Yeah.
It's the same party. In Quebec, that doesn't happen. So anyways, it's a little
but
bit
there's
strange.
still a liberal party here, and everyone just assumes.
Yeah, but it's wrong. They're wrong.
I know they're wrong,
They
but they
assume
just
wrong.
assume.
Especially since we're completely opposite. Like The Liberal Party in Quebec is a little center right. They play in that bracket.
That's why a lot of people don't understand when you're saying, Trudeau's woke. It's like Liberals aren't woke. We're looking out for individuals and businesses. That's here.
Yeah.
That's what the mandate is different. Yeah.
So anyway, that has happened over here provincially. So they're thinking, is it the right thing? Because don't forget, in 2019, Legault also came out in support of Andrew Scheer, and everyone.
Who the fuck was that guy again?
The leader of the Conservative Party at that time.
Trying to see what he looked. Oh yeah, I remember him. He was like a little kid.
No, he was a tall guy. He was, but yeah, he had a baby face,
and
he fell flat on his face because Justin Trudeau won again. Right?
Yeah.
So it's like, don't make any don't make any of these comments or don't support anyone. You don't know what's going to happen. Like, how bad is it if now O'Toole loses and you're faced to work with Trudeau again? Like, how do you walk in that first meeting? Hey, brother, sorry, I didn't support you for the campaign, but let's talk about that money.
Nah, bro.
You know
Legault's gonna walk in. He's gonna be like, "You again, huh?" Okay. After I make out with sister, I come talk.
Oh man.
No, but I think Legault had his. Why? I'm making enemies. Well, there's a video. He's the one who made out with his sister.
No.
He made out with his sister. I didn't ask him to make out with his sister. I'm commenting on something that happened.
Yeah, just for the record, they didn't make out. It was a little tap on the mouth, which is weird.
It was a Quebecois kiss, not a French kiss.
Yeah,
a Quebecois
little-
kiss.
You should use that same excuse to your wife. I wasn't making out with her. It was a tap on the lips. Don't worry about it. see how far that gets
It
you.
was just a
See if that
It
works.
was just a tap on the lips.
Oh man. So yeah, and to finish up with a federal debate, the federal elections. We spoke about the debate on Wednesday and how crazy it got, especially when the moderator, who I'm sure she wasn't even moderating, she was part of that debate for some reason.
Yeah, she was very aggressive.
Very aggressive. And her question to the bloc leader about him supporting the discriminatory laws in Quebec have created such a big boomerang that the support of the bloc has skyrocketed. And as soon as that happened, it's funny because, and I'll show you the text because I was, we have a chat with some other friends and I'm like, oh man, this is brilliant what Yves-François Blanchet just did because he's playing into the sensitivity of the Quebec nation and he's going to use that to his advantage. It's exactly what is happening now. Everyone in Quebec came out to defend him.
Me too.
The Liberals provincially, like all parties at the National Assembly. In fact, yesterday with a new session, there was a motion that was tabled, not only criticizing what happened during the debate, but demanding a public apology from the journalist. She's not even a journalist. She works for polling. She works for Angus Reid.
I'm demanding an apology
Who the fuck is
for
named
that
Angus?
mess from Jagmeet Singh.
What?
Yeah,
Elaborate.
he was there.
Elaborate.
He's associated
So we want him to apologize.
by association.
Let's do it.
So yeah, so the Bloc Québécois is seeing a huge wave of support following all that. Everyone is playing into the Quebec nationalism thing, and a lot of polls now are suggesting that because of that, they may gain up to 10 additional seats in Quebec, which is huge for the Bloc
hilarious.
Québécois. It's huge. So that's what's happening. Let's talk a little bit. Okay, provincially now. You guys do remember when the COVID broke out? All opposition parties here in Quebec were forcing the education minister here in Quebec to implement rapid testing in schools. And especially since they were all sitting in some warehouse, the government had sent millions of tests and Legault wasn't using them. He was being heavily criticized. Oh, we don't need them. They're not effective, blah, blah, blah. Guess what happened a week ago? He finally said, we're going to implement rapid tests in schools because we don't want the kids to be sent at home. We want the schools to work, la, la, la.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, finally he decides. Here's the problem. Okay, the schools all opened up, 2 weeks ago? Last week on Friday.
600 schools.
Last
That's
week.
why there's so much traffic now.
So,
Yeah, there's a lot of kids playing in the street.
Fucking brats.
so last week on Friday, the government sent a link to the schools, and this is only schools that are in hotspots: Montreal Nord, Parc X, Chambéry, and East End. I think I can't remember. So there's 4 regions that are going to be using
Where the kids are hot.
rapid tests. Yeah, the kids are hot. So they just sent the link. All they did was send the
Here's
link.
a link. Like that's the wrong link. Oh shit! The hot kids school's fuck. I got mixed up.
So they sent the link to the schools with like a video demonstrating how to perform these things, and the schools are freaking out. They're like,
It's all
"What?"
anally. Like what?
No, it's like from the nose,
Swab.
whatever. You know, like a swab. Yeah, it's like a
Swab
swab
in the mouth, on the cheek.
No, in the nose, like on the tip of the nose or whatever.
Oh.
That's it.
Yeah, but the thing is this: the teachers, first of all, they can't do this, man. You have a class to run. You have a kid that first of all, show some sort of symptoms, you have to leave the classroom, take the kid, isolate him in another room, do the swap, wait for the results, like 30, 40 minutes, whatever.
These fucking teachers never want to work. There's a shooting, they don't want to pick up a gun and fight back. They never want to do anything. What's going on?
The problem isn't that. The problem is that, one, again, the government acted way too late. It's almost as if they're improvising as they go along, right?
I feel bad for these fucking
now,
teachers,
and,
bro.
And now, yeah, seriously, man. And now they're expecting the teachers, here you go, here's the rapid test, figure it out, we sent you a
They're
link.
just standing there like this. What do you want from us? There's 50 kids in my classroom.
But we sent you a link.
Yeah,
Look
yeah.
at the link. You know what
They
I mean?
have to be soldiers, doctors, nurses.
It's like Lego kissing his
mechanics.
sister. You just gotta tap it.
Plus,
You just gotta
all the
tap it.
areas you mentioned are the schools that we went to, which is shit kids. I was one of them.
Oh yeah, bro. I was
Yo,
like,
you ain't putting that shit in my nose, bitch. Like, that's what's gonna happen.
bro, I used to throw stuff at teachers.
Yeah. Bro, this is crazy.
No, but see, it comes down to what the opposition has been yelling for months now. Why don't you send rapid tests to the homes? So if a parent sees something that's wrong with their kid,
Stay
come
home.
here, let me do a swab. Oh, you're infected, stay home.
Oh, that's fucking smart.
Why the
That's
fuck
way
would you go
smarter.
to school? So it just seems that the education minister, I don't know what the hell he's doing, and I'm not saying this because of any partisanship or anything like that. It just seems like the guy has no clue what the fuck is going on.
feels that
Seems
way.
like he's uneducated.
I spoke to some parents from the older grades at my kid's school, because she just started like regular school. They already got shut down once. Like, they've closed classes. They had a massive outbreak. We had to keep her, quarantine her, test her. It was a whole thing. It was stressful because
course.
the school's trying to give us information, but they don't have clear protocols from the government like last year. The parents from last year was super organized. It feels like during the pandemic, the government's like, look, we can be efficient for certain things in the healthcare system. No lineups, you take a number. Everything was nice and like moving. And I worked in the healthcare system. It was
First of all,
not efficient.
The healthcare system is stupid. A few weeks ago, when Guido Grasso was headbutted by an Algerian man and he cracked
What?
his skull open.
Oh no, it was
Oh no, a El Salvadorian,
Nicaraguan.
Nicaraguan. What
Was this by mistake or the guy really
No.
attacked him?
It attacked him. So, anyways, when this Nicaraguan attacked him, I took him to the local CLSC or whatever that was, and the guy said, "Oh no, we can't help you. You gotta make an appointment." And this is what he said. He goes, "Next time, you gotta know a few hours, maybe a few days before this is gonna happen, so you can let us know." And then we're like, "Okay, next time someone's gonna stab him, I'll call a few days ahead of him. Say he might get stabbed or shot in 3 days, and we'll be ready." He's like, "Okay." And then we walked out. We're like, "What is this?
That's insane.
Is this a Twilight Zone?"
Yeah,
That's insane,
It's
bro.
crazy.
Yeah.
Is that what he said?
Yeah, he said next time you got to know beforehand and call us before this happens. And we're like,
everyone
okay.
is over their head.
So
Like,
you're telling me for the system to work for me, I need to have precognition.
Here's the thing: if you feel a stomach ache, call them, tell them, guys, I'm getting stabbed tomorrow, and then I'll come stab you, and we'll take you to the hospital. They'll take you because they're gonna be like, "Do you have an appointment?" Be like, yes.
That's
Yes.
nuts.
I knew this was coming. I've been talking a lot of shit.
yeah, but you shouldn't have taken it. But you shouldn't have taken him to a local CLSC. You should have taken.
It was
him to a
right next
hospital.
door.
Yeah, I know. You should have taken him to a hospital.
Which
like,
name,
you
Bro,
know, to an emergency.
Dudman.
Yeah, but
Does
hospital.
it see up there?
Yeah, there's one literally right
yeah,
across the
yeah,
thing.
yeah, yeah.
So it was right next door. Then we called private nurses, right? There's all these nurses on the
Just gone
go.
to Sacré-Cœur.
Why didn't you just go to the hospital?
Yeah.
Bro, you know what kind of lineup there's at the fucking hospital?
No, man. For
No. If it's not COVID related, bro, they make you wait all day. You're there all day.
No, for stuff like this, for like
Yes,
trauma
because he then went to the hospital
Yeah.
and waited all fucking day. You had to close down the restaurant. I knew this, bro. This happens all the time.
I've been to the
Mademoiselle
emergency
Miu
twice
makes a
during
very
COVID,
good
and
point.
it was great.
Or you can go and bleed out for 15 hours at the ER.
Yeah, bro, this system's fucking garbage.
This is nuts, bro.
Yeah.
We're living.
I'm gonna say, you think I'm gonna lie and be like, we have a perfect system? Bro, our system is shit. And it's not the nurses or the doctors' fault. It's the fucking government.
It's
The
the
nurses and the doctors are
politicians.
overrun. There's fucking 3 nurses for 15 fucking ICU people. Bro, they don't give a fuck, the government. They don't give a fuck.
And it's getting crazier now because there's a bunch of nurses that have already left because they refuse to get vaccinated. So we're heading into this whole other
By the way, that was very smart.
Problem now,
The-
right?
We're understaffed.
So we're firing people.
sanction them. Yeah,
We're gonna sanction
no pay.
No pay. The people that were heroes for a year and a half now go hungry. Get the fuck out of
I
here.
said it before. Your heroes become your villains, just like after 9/11
And then
Just like they did to Colocotroni.
that's true though.
or Batman.
But yeah, just like I talked about last night on stage, and then in 1 month, right? Nurses were heroes. Now they're villains. You know, they're getting fired or whatever. And then in 1 month, end of October, if you see someone dressed as a nurse, you think it might be just a slutty chick on Halloween. Or you're like, are you a nurse that lost her job, and this is
Why is
how
she
you're
still
making money on the
dressed
side? Yeah. This man-
right now, the sentiment in the media from the government, generally the mainstream news is like the unvaccinated. Pandemic of the unvaccinated, epidemic of the unvaccinated. They're causing this ruckus. They're
That doesn't
doing
make any
this.
sense.
But look, there's some
But wait,
hope
wait,
because-
I'm not done.
Oh, sorry.
By December, it won't be the media anymore. It'll be people going, those unvaccinated.
Yeah, it's so
people."
stupid.
It's already started.
Yeah, but it's just. It's
But if you're vaccinated, why get vaccinated
tell you
against something that you can't protect yourself from? But you could. I'm not saying don't get vaccinated. What I'm saying is, if you're vaccinated, then the person you should fear the least is the unvaccinated. The unvaccinated should be fearing you.
So we had this conversation last week, me and you,
Yeah.
right? And I agreed with you in that moment, 1,000%.
Yeah.
Then my daughter's school had an outbreak.
Yeah.
And something occurred to me: the unvaccinated can still get sick,
Just like the vaccinated.
and they
Just like everyone on the
they
fucking
have a
planet.
higher likelihood of getting sick.
No, they have a higher, less
Getting-
likelihood of getting hospitalized.
The vaccinated. You're talking
The
about.
The vaccinated.
Yeah.
So the unvaccinated.
Just have a higher likelihood of getting hospitalized.
Let me just think about what I was going to say. I can't confirm those stats, so I'm not going to continue. I'm
No,
gonna stop.
I that's what because I thought if you get vaccinated, you're less likely to catch COVID. It's impossible.
You're
the
less
only
likely
way
to know you have COVID.
No. It just depends on how your immune system handles it. The only thing that it does, because it just depends on the viral load you get. If you get enough, doesn't matter whether you're vaccinated or not, you're still getting COVID. The thing is, you're less likely, statistically, judging by they've vaccinated all kinds of millions of people around the planet. Statistically, you're less likely to end up in critical care. It could still happen, but it's way less likely.
Yeah, there are breakthrough cases
For people
right?
who are either double vaxxed and they have that 3-week period.
To end up in the hospital.
Yeah, to end up in the hospital. Or if you've had one vax and you've had COVID. Or if you've had COVID, like hard COVID, and you got fully immune to it, you're even less more than double vaccinated people than ending up in critical care if you catch it again. That's what it says. But you're not, you can't say you can't catch. Of course you could catch it.
But here's the thing, man. If we want to free up our hospitals and to give them some breathing space, why isn't everyone getting vaccinated? Because we know from the stats that 95% of the people that are currently hospitalized or in ICU are not vaccinated. So
I read yesterday that it's 93%.
yeah, so
I don't remember where though.
Yeah,
but I'm
so
just
I
saying.
mean,
Where did you read it though? Because every time we have stats like that, I call because there's 3 hospitals that have people
no, because
there.
now,
Let
because
me
now,
elaborate.
no, because now
Let me-
There's
they're,
3
they're-
hospitals that I have people there at, right?
Hold on, let me
So,
elaborate.
yeah.
I read all of the data
Yeah.
from multiple sites, and then I made a percentage.
Okay.
Like I did the math.
Yeah, you did because a lot of times when that happens, and me and him look at each other like, "Fuck, bro," it's like a. So I'll call the people at the places, and they always tell me they're like, "Where'd you fucking see that? I'm here." I'm like, but they said no. It's the same thing with CNN last week with the ivermectin. They go, "There's hospitals. There's a hospital they named the one in Detroit where they can't treat patients because there's too many people in the ICU because they took horse dewormer." This is all Rogan's fault. So then they called that hospital like, yeah, that's not true. None of this is true. But it was on CNN. It was on Rolling Stone. So it's crazy what the panic that they're putting is fucking insane, bro.
What do you think about the unvaccinated taking up too many resources? Do you think that's a legitimate thing, or
Well, no,
Does that make
because
What sort
sense?
of resources?
what sort of resources?
the
They're,
resources at the
they're
hospital?
tax-paying citizens.
They're tax-paying citizens who already paid into that.
Christine to the gulag.
No, don't go.
No, don't gulag her. But is that what she said?
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense.
Exactly. That's why
Yeah.
gulag.
You know, I've heard
Sorry
this
for
argument
yelling.
before, but I've yet to be able to find any concrete evidence that that's what's happening. Like, I still have a lot of friends within the health ministry, like, who are still on the front lines, not doctors, but admins who would know.
Yeah.
And I've spoken to people, and yeah, there are people in hospital. The weird thing is, though, the numbers last year compared to the numbers this year, now that we are at 83% vaccination rate, we're doing worse now. Now, there are a lot of factors that can account for that. One of them being the fact that the vaccine passport, in my opinion, is causing a surge in cases.
The vaccine passport is the dumbest thing.
It is.
what?
The
First of all,
vaccine
it gives you a
passport is
false
direct-
sense of
Yes.
security.
I
And-
saw people in a restaurant yesterday. Okay, because I'm green now. My
Yeah.
thing turned green. I'm desirable again.
How did your thing
Mindfully
turn green?
props. 7 days after your second dose.
I thought it was 2 weeks after your second
They
dose.
changed it. They also changed
doesn't
if you've
make
had
any
COVID,
sense.
it's not 3 months till you can get a vaccine. It's 21 days.
That's weird.
That's weird.
Because that article came out.
hold
Bloomberg
on.
did the whole.
well,
wait.
initially that's what it was.
No.
It was 3 weeks initially to get the second one.
No. Once you've had COVID, they were saying wait 3 to 6 months
Oh,
before you
to-
get your
okay,
vaccine.
okay, I thought- okay.
Now they're saying 21 days later you're good.
I don't think you should. To be honest, if you actually went through COVID and it's confirmed, Personally, I don't think you should get vaccinated.
Yeah, I was talking to someone who had it, was sick for 3
because
weeks.
statistically, not even statistically, they did the science. It was on Bloomberg 2 weeks ago. The immune system of the people who had COVID and got through it was 13 times stronger against the Delta variant and all that than people who were double vaxxed with Pfizer within the same time.
I don't think it would hurt you if you already have those antibodies.
No, but I'm
give
saying you
yourself
shouldn't.
more.
So hold on a second. If right now I'm 13 times, this hypothetical, if I'm 13 times stronger than you, immune based on what I had.
understand what you're trying to say.
Why would you force me to take? I'm already. What are you talking? So this is the thing where that's why people get mad, and because you were saying before like what, the false sense of security, because people assume what you said. People assume I'm vaccinated, I can't catch it. No one said that shit. Like
Theresa Tam yesterday.
Yeah.
What is she? What's her title?
She's the Canada's public health.
She straight up said we have zero data
Director.
that confirms that the vaccine passport system is effective.
But it's not
at
scientific.
preventing. No.
So okay,
she
so what were
said
you
it,
saying
though.
about the
Yeah.
vaccine passport?
My
all the
theory is-
imbeciles who
hold
were
on.
for vaccine passport were for it on image. They were for like, yeah, that's good. It's gonna say. No one said, how's it gonna protect you? You fucking dummy.
Because they've been so frightened that they're looking for anything to get back to normal, right?
Yeah.
So now, like I see it on my Instagram feed, these dry weddings where there's no dancing and it's like 400 people fucking going nuts. They're all vaccinated. And they think they're safe. They can't hurt anyone. They can't do anything. It's not the unvaccinated who are out and about and not being careful without masks on. I mean, there are some.
Well, I'm sure they contributed, but yeah,
I'm
maybe
sure.
you're right. The fact
But
that they
if-
don't
but
think
think
they're
about it
safe.
this way. Think about this.
You're saying that they may be carrying the virus
they're
and
the
they're spreading.
ones spreading it.
Yeah.
Whether they're getting sick or not is
Yeah.
not the point. But
And that's statistically proven?
so
No.
Here's how I'm going to
Anecdotal.
It's anecdotal. Here's how my theory is that the vaccine passport is doing more harm than good, and not from a civil liberties or rights issue, from a health perspective.
I'm listening.
If 82%, let's average 85% from the double vax and the single vax. If 85% of the population is vaccinated, right? Now we have what, 15% left that are not. Let's assume that 5% of those people are not anti-vaxxers, anti-maskers, anti-anything. They're just people who, for some reason, medically cannot get the vaccine.
Yeah.
Okay? Now we're left with 10%. Of those 10%, not the entire 10%
Or out and about.
are out and about. They're just so anxious about the vaccine, they're scared, so
Yeah.
they're just home probably and masked up.
Also-
so let's assume that now there's a 7% group. Are you telling me that a 7% of the population is responsible for nearly 1.5 times the amount of spread from last year?
No, they're not.
They're not.
And
That
that's
doesn't
just
make
common sense.
Sure, Delta variant more contagious,
But it's not
that
their
still
fault.
Doesn't.
But anyways, that's common.
doesn't
You're
compute.
using common sense in a situation that is not asking for common sense.
Yeah.
Because no one's
But
asking
I'm
for.
using common sense to prove that this situation that they've created does not follow logic.
But it doesn't in other countries. Denmark is like we reached over 70%. We're getting rid of these fucking stupid passports. It doesn't make any sense.
The UK also.
Yeah, because on one side, of course, it is illegal looking at our constitution. It's completely insane. But on the other hand, it doesn't even help. It's like, look, you know that stupid excuse of limit your freedoms for safety, which is crazy. Don't do that because it's a slippery slope. Even if that were true, there's zero science. There's no that this is pro safety. It doesn't make you any safer. But what it does, and I've said to people, I go, it's like a false insecurity because people keep telling me, oh, I'm not scared of COVID. I can't catch it. I'm vaccinated. And I was like, but unless I misread or misunderstood, you can't. The vaccine not only does it not. The reason why they're talking about boosters and shit is because if anything, the big fear with vaccines is not that it's super effective, is that it's not as effective as it should be. Because anything else, if it's a vaccine, apart from the flu, which changes every year, you get it, you don't get it again, right? That's it. You get your vaccine. That's not the case here. So
But
clearly
the
our
flu,
big
you
issue
just
is,
touched on something. The flu is a great example.
well, this is a form of that. This
mean,
is
it's not a form
it's the
of
same
that.
family.
No, influenza is its own branch. I'm not going to get into epidemiological terms. Not like we're not fucking scientists. But the flu changes.
Yeah.
There are multiple versions of influenza.
so does this. Yeah.
So that's where we're at now. So
Yeah.
the idea that we need multiple vaccines over the course of our lives is not crazy. The idea that I would need multiple vaccines over the course of a year
That's fucked.
is what's nuts.
Yeah.
Like the virus, like what are we at? We're at mu now. Like I think mu is the variant.
Yeah, wait till Mewtwo comes.
There's a new one?
Yeah, MU.
Well, there's always an
Oh, if I didn't know,
I
I
can't
I
wait.
didn't even fucking know
I
that.
cannot
This
wait
is
till the
insane.
Omega variant because that's just like headlines. Omega variant. It's
No,
so good.
But
By the
you're,
way-
I like that you said that, Phil, because you used some common sense there, and that's kind of what we need. But no one's asking for it. They're all
I
panicking.
don't have a hard line opinion here. That's the thing. The information, the science changes as we get new data.
Yeah.
Information changes.
No, but also, too,
anyone
80
who's watched film my whole knows, I basically argue with myself for an hour.
No, but we're
that's
super
what I'm trying to
highly
do.
percentage-wise in Quebec. Super high the vaccination rate.
We're
Yes, also-
we're the best in the world.
Not to mention,
We're number one.
We're no. So then the way we're acting, though, it was the same thing. Do you remember when the curfews? There's a lot of people like, yeah, the curfews, that's going to kill the virus. And then fucking Arruda comes out and says, yeah, there's no science behind this. It's not what we're doing. It is to show you what we can do.
Here's another great one. The curfew.
Yeah.
The curfew may have actually been effective inadvertently for the exact same reason that this isn't. Because it forced people not to circulate and it made people more scared. Whereas the vaccine passport, people are out and fucking blowing each other on park benches. I mean,
Look,
I
I
don't know
think,
about
look, guys, there's one thing that we haven't said and we should. Life. You will never
wait,
be.
what is Frank going on about?
You will never be 100% safe.
Never.
You will never be, and I don't like the excuse of, well, I should be allowed to walk freely because I'm immunocompromised. A strong wind could kill me. You stay home. Fuck you. If you're the victim, you stay home. You stay home if a strong wind will kill you. We have to accept
I
the
don't wanna
fact.
stay home.
Listen, we have to accept the fact that at some point we should be getting back to normal, and the flu is going to kill some people. COVID is going to kill some people. We're not going to. We're just going to die a slow death, and society just stops forever. If this is something that we're going to have to live with moving forward, then we have to find a way to accept it and live with it. Whether that is vaccines, whether that is taking your life in your own hands and risking it, whatever the fuck it is. But if you think that the best way is to live in this reality of your passport, you're scanned everywhere, were you next to someone that may have had COVID, where are you, who do you talk to? If you think that that's the best way forward, you're crazy because this is a virus and you're trying to use something digital for something physical. This is great. You're right, bro. You're sneezing. You bringing the virus in here. You're bringing the fucking virus in here.
Gesundheit.
But do you know what I'm saying? Like, there's gonna be
Come on, man, I just
so
got
there's
tested.
places around the world like that, like they're opening fully. September
but
25th.
all of those places are doing really, really not sophisticated. That's not the right word.
Check out the
but
Netherlands,
good.
what their vaccination rate is.
Forget the
Because the
vaccination rate.
Netherlands,
They're
as
doing
of September
contact tracing.
25th,
Contact
as of
tracing.
September 25th, bro, soccer stadiums are at full capacity. Ajax gonna have all their fans.
Ajax.
September 25th, full capacity. You know what that means, bro? You know what it means having 30,000 people in the same fucking place? So clearly there's a disconnect between reality and what we're being told.
I don't want to go that far right now.
But it
In
is.
There's
How-
a disconnect
how do you-
between
how-
reality and what.
How do you account for, in one country with less of a vaccination rate, they're good to freely frolic and their cases all over whatever, and then a country that's more vaccinated and we have stricter measures, fucking whatever, you can't freely. It doesn't make any fucking sense, bro.
It doesn't, but I
Because
can't
it's not a
account-
matter because it's becoming more and more clear that it's no longer an issue of your public health advisors, you know what I mean, or public health policy. It's becoming more and more clear that it's strictly just political.
Yeah.
That's what it is. So
And
depending
here
on
we have
where
a
you-
problem in Quebec because we can't handle a lot of people in the emergency rooms. Or they're small. They're overcrowded, but overcrowded doesn't mean 1,000 people. Overcrowded sometimes
7.
means 20 or 7.
Well, I mean, I don't know that many Quebec halls. Let me think of the ICUs I've seen. I've seen the inside of the Jewish General,
I know 3.
St. Mary's,
Yeah.
Sacred Heart,
Lakeshore.
and during the early months of COVID, I experienced the Hôpital, the one on downtown in the east, Notre Dame. Is that what it's called? Hôpital Notre Dame.
Not Dieu.
L'Hôtel Dieu?
Hotel Dieu?
No,
Dieu
where
is
is it?
creepy as fuck.
no, Hôpital Notre Dame. I went through all those areas. I saw the ICUs. They were not small. They could easily accommodate, I would guess, on average, 35 people.
They can't because there's not even 35 nurses.
That's the problem.
by
The
the way-
space, the facilities are there, but when you're... Anyways, yeah.
The Netherlands are at 69.7% first dose.
First dose.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
So do you see what I'm saying? There's some kind of weird disconnect
Yeah.
happening.
Also, I would like to touch back on the thing of the percentage of the population that has at least a first dose. 80. What is it? Almost 85%. Let's take into account also
Aren't- Isn't it close to? Isn't it over
it's like
90?
no, it's
the
80
first dose.
No, the first dose is like 83%.
No, it was 83. It might be over 90 now.
Oh,
Because
really?
people after the passport started going
And
heavy.
I was gonna say you can't do 100% because Also, 10% of the population is kids.
No.
No.
That
we
percent
spoke-
of
no,
who's
no.
eligible.
When they calculate that, they only calculate people that
okay,
can get
okay.
vaccinated. But Alfie
They're
Gagné,
eligible.
comedian and friend Alfie Gagné said something to me backstage, which was fucking hilarious. Because he goes, it is weird that they're looking for 100. He goes, 100% of the population doesn't even pay their taxes. Because you're not going to get 100. That's an impossible goal. They're creating a goal where they
guys,
know you
look,
can't
yeah.
reach, so that they can always keep these fucking measures.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
Well, and also, the UK is getting rid of passports and no more emergency measures in the UK.
But the protests in the UK were hardcore.
They were.
yeah.
But this is what we gotta do, bro.
I don't want it to
Again,
go into
Protests
violence.
don't accomplish anything.
I'm all for protests. I'm all for boycott. I'm all for that stuff. But guys, the second it starts going violent and breaking people or telling Trudeau's
it
wife to
will.
fight,
No.
we start going down.
The best way to do this is everyone at once, late at night, when everyone's home, everyone just steps out of their house and they make noise, honk, whatever. Everyone.
What
There's
does-
150 people in the ICU in
No,
all of
she
Quebec.
said there's 150 ICU beds, but I could have sworn 2 episodes ago she said there was 1,000 ICU beds.
If there's 150 in a province of 8 million, yeah, we don't know
We
what
have
the
a
fuck
problem.
we're doing.
it seems a little low.
Yeah, I thought it was 1,000, but
And oh shit, Gary Atlas makes a very good point. Also, another thing we've been saying.
Quebec has 1,000 intensive care beds and 3,000 ventilators. That was in March.
stop talking about the ventilators because we killed too many people using the
just saying.
ventilators too early.
That was from 2020. So how do we have less beds now?
Yeah,
We don't have 150 beds, but maybe with the nurses we have, maybe we could only have 150 beds used properly because we don't have enough nurses.
based on the resources
Yeah.
available. Yeah.
But again, they get the dick. They get dick the nurses, they get dick the doctors, and then they get
Oh, she was
fired
missing a zero, she said.
Oh, okay.
okay.
Oh, we
And
have
then-
1,500. That's
yeah.
a bit better.
for 8 million people.
Wait, she was missing a 0 2 times?
But still, 1,500.
There's
She said
150,000.
150. Someone goes 150. She's like 150. My bad. I was missing a 0.
Yes.
Both off 3 times.
But hold on, even for a population of 8 million,
funny.
just 1,500 ICU beds?
It's not a lot. But you have to also think about.
How many ICU beds do we need?
I would say 10% of the population.
You would say that.
But what are you basing that information?
No, so like...
I don't know. Look, I don't know what the right. I don't know what the right answer is.
If 10% of your population at any given moment is in intensive care, there's something else going on. You have a problem.
But I
It's a lot
don't
of
know.
people.
But George is the one.
Okay,
from-
1%, sorry.
George is the only adult here. But you know that our big problem, George, for
I make
years.
baby too.
No, I don't mean because of babies. I mean he's not a retard.
He works out of his basement.
So
okay, go.
you know for a fact when you were in politics, the recurring issue here is the understaffing and the funding.
Underfunding. Yeah.
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 Anywho, enough about this. I think we it's good that we're in studio because I think this was a good conversation to have.
Yeah.
It was a good topics to address.
Change completely
Are
the
we going to
topic.
start doing rapid testing in the studio in the morning before we come in?
or do it at home before
I
we come in.
trust all of you here to know if you feel sick to stay home. Phil is the king of this. Phil feels a little ill. He's like, I don't want to take a chance to infect you guys. I'm staying home.
I feel terrible today, but I just got tested, so it's fine.
But I'm saying if you feel like there might be a chance, I trust you guys to tell me.
Him included.
Yeah.
Because
hold on to say
there
what?
were many fights at home during the early months of the reopening
Yeah.
when I used to come here and he was here. The wife, she was like, "This is not safe."
You have to tell your
the
wife.
Poseidon,
Poseidon.
You have to
Poseidon
tell-
is
what?
out and about.
You have to tell your wife that Poseidon has been out and about. Poseidon has eaten assholes he should have never eaten.
I used that argument.
He
You know what
was-
she told me? She was,
what?
"That's not making it better."
It does. It does. He was in Chinatown during the peak of this when they were blaming Chinatown.
Yeah.
He was at the airport during the peak of this when they said, oh, it's probably just at the airport. Everyone around him got sick. People died. This guy unscathed.
Remember when I said earlier in this episode, the Omega variant cometh?
Yeah.
He is the Omega
He
variant.
is the Omega variant. He's coming.
The last version
I'm
of
the
humanity
Omega.
that ever will walk the face of this earth.
Yeah, it's just I guess he might be immune. Even when he got vaccinated, he was like, I don't think they put it in. Bro.
I mean,
No,
I went to the same center that you guys went, like a few hours later to get my second dose, and they were still talking about it.
Bro,
Did
you don't
see
know
that the fucking
Bro, you don't know our center, bro. Our center's at the center of the earth, bro. You don't know our center.
What?
They were still talking about you. He goes,
Like, this
bro, the
fucking
needle
guy-
broke.
That needle melted in my hands.
Yeah, this guy, he took the jab, called me a
just
fag,
drank
and
it.
walked out of here.
And then he slapped my mother. I didn't even know she was here.
Yeah. But go on, G. What are you bringing up? Something good?
A huge twist of events coming out of Haiti. I don't know-
yeah, I saw that.
I don't know if you guys remember back in the summer. I think it was in July.
Yeah, well, be cool.
Yeah, it was in July. The president of Haiti was assassinated. It was a whole thing.
How can we forget?
There was like a literal army, like like 30.
It was like mercenaries.
Yeah, like 30 mercenaries, whatever, including Americans and Colombians and whatever.
Mercs, man.
There was some chubby ones too, which was weird.
Which was very suspicious
Chubby
because somehow his security detail wasn't harmed in all this. They didn't see anything happening. Whatever.
Fucking elite crack
So
team, man.
the attorney general of Haiti
Well, they have one of those. Okay.
asked the judge to take into custody the prime minister who assumed office after the president died.
That's smart.
I mean, that seems to
Because
yeah,
he
that
goes,
tracks.
there is incriminating evidence to suggest that he was behind and he had plotted this whole thing. And one of the things that I read was that soon after the president was assassinated, like at 4:15 or whatever in the morning, with the what's it called, the geolocation, whatever it's called,
They pinged him.
One of the guys that was in the residence had a conversation with the prime minister. There was a call placed twice to the prime minister, and they did some geolocalization on that phone, and it was
geolocalization.
whatever. What the fuck is geolocalization?
Triangulated.
They triangulate. They ping. Just say ping.
So
One of the Haitians was in the mainframe.
So that call came from the president's residence, and they're like, "What the hell?"
That's a
is
good
that?
movie, The President's Residence.
So why is the prime minister talking with someone? So, anyways,
That's amazing.
So here's
I mean, it's terrible, but it's a great story.
but here's the problem now. There is so much garbage coming out of Haiti. Like there's so much.
Whoa.
They deserve every opportunity that you do too.
You listen to me, good sir. All right. I personally am thankful for Wycliffe, Eddie King, Preach, and many others.
It's Cardinal
So I don't
Michel
like what you're
I'm
saying.
not talking about the individuals. I'm talking about the corruption.
Oh, okay. That's
Is
cool.
Banana
Yeah, you
Republic
gotta
a
clarify
racist
that,
term?
yeah.
The banana. No, it's a
You can
common.
use it,
yeah,
right?
it's a
So a
It
common-
banana
feels like a
republic,
banana
I think it's
republic.
like a republic that's like.
Yeah, I know what it means.
It's like a
but-
dictator.
But is it only used for like
It could be
African
used-
nations?
No, it
Like,
could be used
It's not
Yeah.
used for African nations at all. It's used for anything. There's a store called Banana Republic.
They have
What the fuck's Poseidon doing?
It is the big
People booing.
yeah.
That's people
So
doing
the big question now, because we're used to all this corruption coming out of Haiti, is who's right now? Is the prime minister being a black? What's it called? Being framed because. Are they against the prime minister? They found some wacky reason to frame him and get him out of office, or did he really do that? So the prime minister is coming out and saying, "I've been targeted. This is false." Blah,
So
blah,
this
blah.
is the coup.
This is a smear campaign.
So that's the thing. So I'm reading this article.
We need the old president to come back now and be like, I faked my death
I am alive.
to catch him. Yes, it is fact.
No,
he
that's like
tried
Putin-
to
that's Putin
assassinate
level
me.
shit.
Yeah.
That's
Well, no,
what's his
that's
name?
what that's
Not-
what
what's his name in Turkey?
Erdogan.
That's
Erdogan did that,
That's
with the
yeah.
fake coup.
Yeah, the
and then
fake
he
coup.
riled up all his
think-
enemies.
you think it was a fake
forgive
coup?
you. Oh,
Do I
yeah,
still think it
come
was a
on.
fake
It
coup?
was a
It's
fake
proven to be a fake coup. He did it, yeah, and then he rounded up everyone that spoke out
It
and
wasn't a
they
fake
put them in the
coup, it was a
gulag.
staged coup.
Yeah, it was a staged coup.
Yeah.
Anyway, so this is the where
He's in a helicopter on top of everyone. There's turrets aimed at him and tanks that didn't like him. No one's shooting him. Get the fuck out of here, bro.
So this is my first reflex reading this news. I'm like, okay, who's right now? I don't even know what to believe anymore. Are they ganging up against the prime minister, not trying to overthrow him, using this as an excuse that he was in charge and he's the guy, he plotted this whole thing. We should try him and send him to jail. Blah blah blah. He murdered our president, or did he really do it? I don't know.
Did you know he fired the prosecutor though?
He did, yeah. So he goes, okay, well,
He brought up a real factoid.
not the proseker, the attorney general.
Take it back.
Suspicious.
He fired.
Sir, I think you murdered that guy. You're fired.
Man, what a crazy story. This is like
that detail, Judge.
I did forget the detail. Yeah.
like the sum of all fears, but Haiti version.
Yeah.
So he fired the attorney general. He's like, well, you're giving out false information. You're fired.
This is like a fucking Tom Clancy novel and like playing out live.
We have geolocation. We know where you were. You're fired. Your kid's missing.
Yeah. We located
How
the
is
call.
little? I can't think of a good Haitian name.
How is little Esteban?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not 80.
What?
That's the other side of the line.
Yeah.
That's what's it?
I
Dominican
mean, there are
Republic?
Haitians called Esteban.
Really?
Yeah, there's Haitians.
Oh, we know one. It's true.
Haitian called Rachel. Haitians called Preach. There's
I should have gone for
Eric.
the easy one.
Eddie.
How is it's like we know that you're behind this? How is little Sophocles?
Yeah.
He's in the 3rd grade now, isn't he?
Yes.
Sophocles.
I mean, I know it's like it's historically was a racist thing that they were given ancient Greek names. I've read a whole bunch of stuff.
Oh,
on
really?
it.
They were shouldn't be racist against us.
No,
I
not
thought
like
we were
that.
tight.
But I think it's
Wait,
I
I
feel
want to
like
hear this.
because-
It wasn't a
What's
racist thing.
I read this whole thing.
So
it
where
was
did
a
you fucking
podcast-
read
it
this?
was a podcast, actually.
Where did you see this?
It was
Tell us this
called,
podcast. This is bullshit. This
Manny
is
sent it to me. Hold
By
on.
the way,
Man, he's full of shit.
While you're thinking about that, I came up with a new tagline, like a new saying.
Oh, okay.
Fuck the vax, just eat ass.
That doesn't rhyme.
That's not gonna help guys. Don't the ass eating only helped him. I don't think it's gonna help everyone with this.
No, you definitely lost your train of thought.
No, you were thinking about
I don't
those
even
names.
know where I am now.
Do you think that would really help with your immune system?
Okay, anyway. Yeah, keep going on those names.
When they were acquiring and bringing over slaves to Haiti, like during the years of colonialism, they would rename them. Like they would wipe their family history, like they don't know where they came from, that kind of stuff, right? And they would give them ancient Greek names because at the time the conquering nations, which in this case was specifically the French and the British for these areas, they idolized and worshipped ancient Greece.
Okay.
Yeah.
So and they're like,
It's fun because we didn't like them.
they're like, you're less than us, but we're gonna name you after. Stuff
Ironically?
that's ironically, yeah. I don't know if that's true. I just
I don't think
remember
that's
reading
true.
about it.
I think they would get mad. They'd be like, "You are not allowed to have that name."
I don't know, but the point I was trying to make is for me as a Greek person, when I meet Haitian people with Greek names, it is like for me it's something. There's like a kinship there. I understand that maybe it wasn't given to them under the best of circumstances. Fine, but I think it's so interesting.
But when I
Because
moved
how
in,
ironic is it that Haiti was the first nation that recognized the independence?
Haiti sent ships to support the Hellenic Revolution.
Goddamn
the ships
right.
never arrived.
They never.
Doesn't
they
matter.
su- They sank,
that's
yeah.
not the point.
it doesn't matter. They're our homies. They're the
It's
first
the
country.
flag that counts.
They're the first country to recognize an independent Greece after slavery.
Yeah.
Forever, Haiti and Greece were homies. But also, when I moved
We're
into my
ride
new,
or die.
they're ride or die homies, bro. They died riding to us.
But why didn't they make it?
It's true.
Why, how come?
I've actually read some
They
interesting
weren't
stuff.
good at
That's for
boating.
another
It's a story
They're
for
an
another day.
island
I blame the
nation.
Brits.
Hey,
Of course they're
but
good at
this is
boating.
cross Atlantic.
They got
This
on
is
a
different.
raft.
Yeah,
to
no,
cross the
but
Atlantic.
it's but I remember when I moved into the place that I'm at now, when I had to get the Bell fiber
Yeah, yeah.
stuff, the guy that came, we're talking, it's a black guy, and he's like, he tells me his name because he's like, "What's your name?" He's like, "Your name sounds Greek," and I'm like, "It is Greek." He's like, "Mine too."
Oh yeah, what was
And he
his
tells
name?
me his name, Vasily, like something, and then I look at him.
What?
Yeah, I look at him. We're looking at each other like, "Fuck yeah." And then I go, "How did that happen?" He goes, "My granddad. He was a Greekster. He went around. I think his dad married his grandfather.
Oh, so he had Greek, like,
traveled
lineage.
to Greece and met a Greek woman and took her back, and they all intermingled, and then the names the
So
next kid,
interesting.
yeah, it was. So he's telling me that. So then he just pulls out his fist. We fist bump. We're like fucking bros, baby.
Patrida, bro.
Yeah,
Patrida.
that's fucking cool. Yeah, and then I told him, I go, "You know about Haiti and Greece, right? The connection." He's like, "I know about the Haiti."
Bro,
and
me, I know. My
Tight.
grandfather is the
Yeah,
connection.
yeah, it was fucking cool. We're
Give it
bros
that
all the time,
fucking tap in
man.
it.
Haitians and
funny.
Greeks. People don't know that about Haitians and Greeks. We're bros.
I find when I meet, like if the other day, so when was this? This was a few years ago, actually, not the other day. I'm talking to this guy at the CLSC, like I'm working there, right? I'm taking down his information. I go, okay, family name. I don't remember what it was, but let's just assume it's the most Greek last name you can think of, which is like Papadopoulos, right? The most common name in Greece. I was like, all right. But like this guy was very Quebecois, like just pencil neck, just the most Quebecois guy. I was like, all right. Father's name? Costa. I was like, all right. Mother's name? I don't know. Stamatia. Like, just the Greekest names. I'm like, this is getting weird. Like, and I'm going down this list. I go, children's names. He gives me all these Greek names of his kids. I'm filling out his file, right? I'm like, sorry, man. And I ask him in Greek. I'm like, are you Greek? He's like, no. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, no, I'm not Greek. I'm like, what? I mean, I don't mean
Everything about you.
I was like, I don't mean like, are you from Greece? But like, do you hail from the land of Greek people? He's like, no. I was like, hold on. I go, your father and your mother both have Greek names. Yeah. Not Greek. He's like, no. I go, what's your mother's last name? Tells me your last name? Not Greek. I was like, but her first name is super Greek. It's not even like the kind of thing that can accidentally find its way.
Yeah.
It's not like a Marie.
So what's happening?
know?
Get to the point, Phil.
He like two ancestors like 100 years ago were Greek
Yeah, but
on either side.
on either side. Okay.
And the names just permeated through the generations. So you have like Konstantinos Papadopoulos, who's not Greek at all, and it blew my mind.
Yeah, but that happens now too. That happens.
I know, but it's
no, it
stupid.
happens in Montreal. Go to ask someone if you know anywhere that works at because I heard this at the National Bank, but on JT. But ask people who work there because there's Hasidic Jews, bro. You're sitting there waiting, and then they're like, "Yeah, Mr. Whatever Costas Papadopoulos," and they're like, "What the fuck?" You turn around, you say Hasidic Jew here. And he goes, the
What?
fuck?
Yeah, but that's not
because they were
surprising.
old. They were all Hasidic Jews, I guess, from Thessaloniki after the Second World War.
Yeah, Greece had a huge
Right,
Jewish
okay.
community. They still
Yeah.
do,
But
by
they
the way.
weren't Hasidic, that community. They
Yeah.
were
Yeah, they were.
Sephardi and
Yeah.
Romaniotes, weren't they?
No,
they
there's
were
everything, bro.
Hasidic Jews.
You have a very small racist mindset. You gotta open up. You gotta open up your
Sure.
worldviews.
But follow-up question. I didn't know that about the Hasidic community in Montreal. I didn't know they had roots that trace to Greece, but that's not the same situation.
They run the media in Greece.
They. That is a deep cut. That is a deep cut joke. You've been spending too much time on St. Rock.
Too funny.
Yeah. So go fuck me, man. Wrap the show up. Just end it. I can't.
That's so stupid.
That's why I get paid the medium bucks.
But that's not the same situation, because those were just Greek Jews.
Yeah.
This
Gru,
is-
they're known as Grus.
Gru. Remember Gru? What movie is that? Despicable Me.
I am Gru.
I am Gru.
No,
that's Groot, right?
All this to say, guys, you create these fake barriers with yourselves. Really, the neighbor that perhaps you hate for what he is closer to you than you realize.
Unless you're living in Yugoslavia, then it's very different. Kill everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's your actual cousin, but he's a Muslim. Like, that's what it took down there.
I always remember this joke during the Kosovo War years that someone would always tell. I forget who it was. He was like, I know a lot of guys who went to fight in the Kosovo. I'm like, okay.
In the Kosovo.
No, because in Greece they call it
Oh, yeah.
Kosovo, right?
Christine brings it up fast. We could say it about
what's she
Gavin
talking
Newsom. I think there's
Proud
no.
Boy.
Yeah, they voted. They don't want to go for the recall.
So there's no referendum?
No, people said
I
it's
mean, they voted against it?
yeah, people said it's super expensive. We can't handle it right now. There's no recall. So it was all for nothing. But I think there was still millions of dollars spent just doing this.
Well, we talked about this for 15 minutes, like 25 minutes ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Christine just missed it. That's
Oh, that's what it is. No, but isn't that funny though that they still like we don't want to spend more money. This is stupid. But in order to get it, like even right now, the election in Canada is costing a shit ton of money.
Yeah, it's over $600 million, and it will.
Hold on. Wait, what?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what
The election is over $600 million?
close to
Yeah.
650.
by-election.
I'm getting 100 of it.
But hold on, wait.
Yeah, that's what it
Paper, boy.
costs.
Get
That's-
that paper.
How?
What do you mean, how?
It's expensive. You got admin and shit, and I don't know, whatever.
What do you mean, how? That's what it costs.
This is where we're gonna end the
campaign.
show
So
on. Really?
it costs a lot of money because you have all these debates that are happening. They're paying for ads. You got to pay people to count votes.
print stuff.
It's all over the country.
Bro, this is some shifty shit.
I mean, it costs
600
money.
million?
You're undertaking a massive thing. It costs money.
Yeah. So what were you saying?
I don't remember the Kosovo story.
Yeah.
I forget the actual context of the joke, but like the part I want to talk about was basically like I would much rather die on the Serbian side, fighting the Serbs than I would the Albanians. I was like, what?
Who said this?
Someone was it was a joke that someone used to always tell me.
I would
right?
rather fight against the Serbs.
I would rather get murdered by like in the Balkan Wars instead of Kosovo kind of thing. Like I would have rather died when we were fighting Serbia than to fight against the Muslims. I'm like, why? The Muslims kill you. It's bad. I'm like, okay. Serbian guy kills you. I mean, at least he's a Christian. And it was that logic
What
to me
the
that made.
fuck is wrong?
That's the joke that it makes no sense.
I just don't want to get killed.
Yeah, but that's that whole idea that like the Muslim. That you said something. I don't remember because he disrupted me. Christine disrupted.
Well, no, I'm just saying because that was the war. Villages were fighting, and they were technically the same people.
Yes, they were the same people fighting each other, but he's a Muslim.
Yeah.
Yugoslavia, Jugo. They
I'm
had
not
a great-
saying I don't get it.
Do you remember the Jugo?
Huh?
The Yugo, the car.
Oh, you
They
keep
had their
talking
own
about
car.
that.
It's
They had
such
their
a
own
funny
shit
little
car.
No, I've never seen
You
it.
never
Bro,
seen
you-
Yugo?
No.
In Greece, you can still see them driving around.
You want to talk about a banana republic, bro? Yugoslavia was a banana
I've actually
republic.
watched an excellent documentary about the fall of Yugoslavia called The Weight of Chains. It's super fucking interesting.
Cool.
Like first-hand accounts. Like just like a lot of home video that was sourced from his family's archive. Very interesting. Weight of Chains. Check it out.
Weight of
You won't like
Change.
it. It kind of glorifies. Oh, there you go. It kind of glorifies socialism.
What?
Yeah, it says capitalism broke Yugoslavia.
Oh yeah, that's what did it.
Hey, listen, it's interesting to watch.
It wasn't the crippling poverty under the
They
socialist
liked that
system.
part.
Yeah,
That was
it
good.
wasn't the men, women, and children waiting in line for their daily meal of potato. It wasn't that did them in. Huh.
Of potato.
The goddamn capitalists. It was choices that did them in. Interesting.
I remember
George,
arguing
any
with a
closing
leftist-
thoughts?
I have a closing thought.
Yeah.
I was arguing with a leftist once.
You are
and
a
he's like,
leftist.
I wish the communists had won in Greece during
He
the
was
wars.
arguing with himself.
No, I mean, I wasn't a leftist. This is one of my flip-flop times when I was younger. And I was like, why would you want Greece to have been a communist country? First of all, it wouldn't be anymore because of the way that things progressed in the area. He's like, because we'd be better off now. I go, think of any country that was a communist country, like a former Soviet republic, satellite states. He goes, yeah. I go, are there women hot? He's like, yeah. I go, okay. And now they suck dick for breadcrumbs. That's what communism does. It's
No,
BJ's
they
for
used breadcrumbs in the beginning. Now it's different.
But
Now it's
spoke-
different, but
we
this was a long time ago.
Yeah.
But we
Or
spoke.
soap.
But we spoke about how close we came, right? Because, and you know, we blame royalty in Greece, and you know, there's this whole wave against. But I am convinced that because of the connection to royalty during the Yalta Agreement, Greece somehow fell in Western Europe, when in fact we know geographically has nothing to do with the Western
Well,
Europe.
now we've found out right here, guys. With closing thoughts from George. He's an imperialist. He's a royalist.
No, he doesn't like the Royals. You don't like the Royals, right?
No, I don't
Well,
care.
what's the hesitancy?
Yeah.
Denounce the Royals.
But he won on a gold medal for Greece.
Off with his head.
Wrap it up. Let's do it.
Wrap it up.
I need breakfast pizza.
Alrighty. If you enjoyed this, remember, there's more content for you. Number one, our boy George Andres, who made the trip all the way from the South, the dirty South. He's the mouth of the South Shore. George Andres has a podcast called Just Us Dads. Is it a good podcast? It's a great podcast, actually. It's him and a bunch of other dads. They talk about what it's like raising children in this day and age. With the digital stuff, with the vaccine stuff, with the pedophiles looking online stuff. They talk all about that. Also, because they're a bunch of dads and they put on some weight because they ate a lot of bread, they're doing a weight loss challenge. These fat sons of bitches need an excuse to get into shape, and this is their excuse. To support them. Go watch the shows, comment on who's the fattest, bully him until he loses weight.
Just us flabs.
Use bullying for good. So Just As Dad's links for George stuff are in the description. He's also started, up again, the Backstage Podcast. He's wearing the G-Funk merch over there. Backstage Podcast, he's basically handling all the politicians right now. All the politicians are going to George, and they're telling him why people should vote for them. All their reasons are garbage, because they're politicians. But if you want to know what they're really thinking, you go no further than Jiggity Jiggity George Transrizos. That's the shirt, and the hat is Just As Dad's. Links are in the description. Phil Balabanos, forget about his podcasting abilities because he's put his podcast on ice while he focuses on the main podcast, The Morning Show.
Not a podcast.
He's got all kinds of stuff cooking for this show. He's got new intros cooking, all kinds of things. Phil's working hard behind the scenes. You wait.
camera am I on?
We're going to have a revamp of this fucking show soon. But Phil is a filmmaker, a professional one at that. He's won awards. His films have been at the Cannes Film Festival. That's all the way in France.
Ooh.
Yeah. And this was after the Second World War, right? Phil found out what kind of pussies they are, pushovers, so he pushed his film on these people. So anyways, Phil is a professional filmmaker. He's working on a lot of cool stuff right now, and he, if he finds the time, can make a commercial for you. His rates are, I guess, exorbitant, a little extreme, but it's worth it. If you see the kind of quality that Phil provides, he could turn your shitty, illegitimate business into a thriving conglomerate. Have you heard of big name media companies? All of them deal with Phil or people like him. Phil Balbanos, balbanos.com. Links are in the description. Don't forget Poseidon producing this show, the Poseidon69 on Twitter and on Instagram. He's also available on Twitch, twitch.tv/Poseidon69. He plays against children. He yells at them, says a lot of racist stuff, asks them not to get vaccinated, all kinds of weird ass shit. The Poseidon69. Check him out. Thank you guys for listening. We love you, but go fuck yourselves.
Goodbye. We're trying to fix the plug.
Ciao, guys.